won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stanford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hope's on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and then with a love this storm, every phone says to bed, and there was a strife. How you, my heart, keep the blue flame flying high, will soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hope's on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stanford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hope's on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and then with a love this storm, every phone says to bed, and there was a strife. How you, my heart, keep the blue flame flying high, will soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hope's on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stanford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hope's on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to ver, was a stretch. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stanford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real of dust, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to ver, was a stretch. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stanford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real of dust, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to ver, was a stretch. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another edition of the Chelsea News Roundup Show. I do hope you're all doing well. And today, I think we have quite a lot lined up to talk about, if you ask me. But yeah, take a second, please. Before we continue, drop a like on the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. So now, listen, if you're a Chelsea, if you're not excited and you're a Chelsea fan, then you're definitely not paying attention. Or maybe you didn't watch how we mopped the Villa Park carpet with Aston Villa players, and it was beautiful. The intensity, the directness, the game was just so sweet, and the fact that we had to come back from 1-0 down on their own turf, that was something special. It was, before that game, a lot of or you knew before time that it was the ground that has haunted us, where we struggled to get results the season after season, and we put four past them. 4 goals. So Joao Pedro scoring 3 goals, and my goodness, 14 goals in total this season. That's a world class form. And that's no debating that. No Nicholas Jackson revisionism. I just hope he continues in that trajectory. But let's talk about the noise. Manchester United are reportedly interested in dreaming maybe in signing Andrey Santos, which I think will never happen. And my message to United: keep dreaming. I mean, you're allowed to dream. We'll talk about Liam Rosenior, and then we'll talk about Estevao Willian winning something special, and then we talk about the Moroccan kid in how'd you pronounce his name again? Yassine. And then we'll talk about the goalkeeping. I wouldn't call it a situation. The fact that we're hearing that the manager's preference will be to make Mike Penders, the young Belgium international, his number one. But that's, by the way, before we continue, I'm going to go to the chat session and say hello to those of you who are already there. And please, if you're just joining, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video. And yes, we're still shamelessly asking for likes because we're not a big account yet, but we're getting there gradually. Yeah, this is a mod manner. The AI we're training to interact with people, discuss football with people, and also uh, help us police the chat. Something missing. Oh yeah, your like. If you haven't, please drop a like on the video. And Kim So is here. Kim just told us, yeah, that we're gonna lose, and I forced him to. Now, then when I responded to his comment, he changed it to Chelsea will beat Aston Villa, something to that effect. And I refused to listen to that because I told him I don't. I want him to stick with his stick with his prediction that we're going to lose, because whenever he does that, we eventually we usually win games. He's Tottenham getting relegated. It's a real possibility, but do I think they're going to get relegated? I mean, I don't know. It's a real possibility, but in my opinion, I'd say I don't see it happening. And that's me. Um, All right, Tottenham getting relegated. It's a real possibility, but I don't see it happening. Yeah, let's see. United will get Garnacho back. I don't think they're getting him back. He might do so well. Even Chelsea fans will start again. Will start supporting him because that's a good player in there. He was never a bad player, but people forget he's just 21, and I expecting him to perform at the same level of Leo Messi at Barcelona. Do I think we can do better than Alejandro Garnacho? Absolutely, and I've said that 1,000 times. Yes, excuse me. As I've said, it's a real possibility, but do I think it will happen? I don't think it happens, and that's just my opinion. It might. Let. I mean, how many games before the end of the season? Around 9, 8 games. Yeah, it's not far away. We'll find out. We'll find out what happens. Tottenham in the championship. I want them to stay. Just like something like Uncle Jester says on X. Because if they stay in the Premier League, guaranteed 6 points. And yeah, but if they get relegated, where are we going to get that from? So I'd rather they stay. I enjoy the banter and the rivalry. I enjoyed them being in the rivalry will still exist even if they get relegated. But I'd rather they stay in the Premier League so we can have what Uncle Jester called guaranteed 6 points. And I'll take that. And Kimson says, nah, he wants them to leave. No, I don't want them to get relegated, really. But I don't think they will get relegated. I think they're strong enough. I think the mistake they made was Lenton. Even though I don't like him, I think he would have stabilized the ship for them and again ensure that they stay in the league. But unfortunately, they fired him. They've been everywhere since then. Big up to you too, Jay, my bro. He says, I don't want Tottenham to get relegated. We cannot afford to lose the most assured annual 6 points. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And Jay gets it. Jay gets it. So where are we going to get it from? We don't have a replacement. There aren't too many teams that we beat. We do the double over every season. They are the only team that we mop their own stadium carpet every season. It's like we own. It's like we don't even need to build a new stadium because we already have one. So why is Kim so praying for them to get relegated? We don't have potential replacements. So let them stay. I get it. The rivalry will still exist even if they get relegated, but I'd rather they stay in the league. Yeah, so we will have a short 6 points. Yeah. Every season. But that's fine. We keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We have 5 likes, but we have 24 people currently following the show on YouTube. And if half of you like the video, would have at least 12 likes. So if you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And if you're following the show on if you're following the show, if you're viewing it in a vertical format, I know it can be difficult. Not that easy. I'm not sure. Some of you find it difficult to like the video. What you have to do is just, I think, double tap your screen, and as you do that, pay attention to the likes count. If it increases by 1, then it definitely captured your like. So please, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video to help us garner more likes, to trigger the YouTube algorithm to push the stream to more people who'd be interested in the topics that we have lined up here. Give me a second here. Okay, there you go. I'm going to go to the presentation window without wasting your time. So Estevao Willian, he wins. Estevao is awarded the LFA's Men's Young Player of the Season. That was quick for him, really. I mean, he deserves it. And had it not been for the injuries that, you could say, stalled him a bit, I think he'd have a lot more goals and a lot more assists. But even with his, you could say, occasional absence from the squad, he still was able to pull it off. I didn't expect that, but yeah, I'm happy for him, and it's a good sign because that's a confidence booster for him, in my opinion. So let's see what Hot Chelsea fans what they have to say here. Congratulations, man! According to someone there, we says my star boy. Okay. Congratulations to him by Lamy, my friend and bro. He is special, my star boy, well deserved, according to Princess. Congratulations to Dr. Chi Chi. Yeah, a lot of Chelsea fans. I don't expect anything dramatic there or funny that you'd say will be enjoyable. It's just complimentary messages. People, you can say, congratulating him, so to speak. And this one is so funny. When I saw it, I laughed so hard because, yeah, it's absolute horse dunk, really. And it reads, breaking news according to Ben Jacobs, actually. Maybe they're serious. Maybe they believe, given the fact that we still have Enzo Fernandez, that the kid himself might be looking for a way, you could say, to go to another club where he gets to play week in, week out, and not play second fiddle to any player. But he reads, breaking news, breaking Manchester United are interested in signing Chelsea midfielder Andrey Santos this summer. I don't see this happening. If anything, as much as I love Enzo Fernandez and would like him to stay, I think Enzo Fernandez is more likely, will likely leave Chelsea before Andrey Santos does, because he's gotten to that age where if he wins like the Champions League with Chelsea, he probably I can see him pushing to leave to go to Real Madrid, and he's South American, and nearly you could argue there's hardly ever a player from South America that wouldn't want to play for Real Madrid. So I don't see that happening now, but I think in the future he will most likely leave before Andrey Santos. So but I don't. This is never going to happen. I mean, they have every right to dream. They have every right to test the waters, and it makes sense given the number of players we have in that position. And CFC Crease, every time I see such redonkulous report, I don't say ridiculous, I say redonkulous when it's something that I believe it's not possible. I know immediately that I'm definitely going to find Crease there. And Chris says, I am interested in Sydney Sweeney. Why would we sell the player who finally brings balance to our midfield? One of the main reasons why I think this will never happen. I don't see it happening, but that doesn't mean they're not going to test the waters or try to turn the kids' head, because the kids could look and say, you know what, I get to play more there than at Chelsea. Thoughts and prayers for Tottenham. Indeed. How do I pronounce your name there? They say Tamiet Schumer, 7,500. Prayers for them indeed, honestly. But I don't think they're going to get relegated. But it's a real possibility given where they are and the total number of points that they currently have. There's no denying that they are in a relegation battle. They are. I hope they survive it for reasons I've explained. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And Flocky Aura says, "What happened to Maino?" Good question. I don't know. I don't think they have good numbers there. Plus, Casemiro will be leaving the club as a free agent. So let's see. What else do we have here? For the right price, maybe. So KDCFC is open to Chelsea selling him, but for the right price. Swap deal with Mainu, and I am game. I want him. I wouldn't actually agree to that. I think he's a much better incomplete player than Kobe Mainu. 95 million, and we have a deal. Possibly. I'm not sure how much the owners will be willing to sell him for. But at the moment, I'd say they're probably not looking to sell him and probably not going to listen to offers. If interested parties put in an offer. And Chelsea are interested in signing Pedri to replace him. We can all dream. So that's just you making up SHIT, not necessarily what you believe will happen. I don't think nothing serious here again, really. So let's see. What else do we have? Who is Yassine? Moroccan kid, a winger. He's capable of playing on the left and on the right. And that's all I know. And the most I can say is that, yeah, he's a talent. He seems the real deal in terms of his potential. He's not quite there yet. So that's all I know. And from the little I've seen, I don't think I'm well educated in terms of his potential or how he applies himself on the pitch to speak objectively about him. I don't want to throw false information from my wazoo at you. So, but yeah, the ceiling for him is high. He has the potential, not quite there, and I'm going to leave it at that. If the club want Anderson madly, then I can see us selling Santos. Just let me see that. Just to finance the move for Anderson or even Watton. How'd you pronounce that? I'm not sure. All right, what else do we have here? But honestly, have you seen the next upcoming sports games, including playing with Atletico Madrid in the Champions League? I don't know. You know what? I'm going to look at their schedule. Just give me time. Let's address the items we have lined up there. Yeah, we'll take time to look at their schedule. He currently plays for Strasbourg. Yeah. Our sister club. Yep. So nothing else, nothing interesting, nothing more interesting there. So we'll move to the next one. And if we get through with the items we have lined up, we will go news hunting. So this here talks about Cesc Fabregas, pass master. Big up to you too, Mr. T Shanks. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. Marlon Jews. Yeah, I think I've answered that question. Cesc Fabregas crying after my last game for Chelsea was something I couldn't control. It was a very emotional moment. Despite joining from a rival club, the fans showed me love and beyond imagination. I was so loved at Chelsea that I started wishing I had started my career there. Chelsea gave me what was difficult for me to get at Arsenal. Yeah, to be more specific, trophies. And I think it's been like that for um, some of the players. I think, yeah, some of the players that have swapped again one of the two clubs for the other and vice versa. Actually, Cole did he won something at Arsenal, but won the Champions League as a Chelsea player. There are other players, but I don't want to get into that. So yeah, I mean, Chelsea will forever be in his heart. I could feel like another way to phrase that. So happy for him, really. So this the man of the moment, Joao Pedro. What the player, what a signing. And the funny thing, Chelsea fans started Nicholas Jackson revisionism in the summer saying that I can't believe that we let Jackson go for this trash. I can Nicholas Jackson is way better than Joao Pedro. I cannot believe stuff I read online. Chelsea fans comparing him to Nicholas Jackson. Both are good players, but in my opinion, Joao Pedro a much better finisher, and I think he has a lot more to his game. He's better aerially, and that's not me saying Nicholas Jackson is a bad player, but I'm just going to leave it at that. So here's a report, or maybe something from Nizar Kinsella, which says Chelsea believe they selected the right striker, Joao Pedro, and have had value for money from their £55 million deal with Brighton in the summer. Then Alexander Isak joined Liverpool. Benjamin Sesko moved to Manchester United, and Victor Gyökeres signed for Arsenal. I would have loved would have loved to see the prices that the respective clubs paid for each of these players, all not for cheap. I think Gyökeres 70 million pounds plus. Sesko also something in that within that region. Ekitike is something within that region too. Even what's the German lanky kid? What's his name? Also for around 70 million pounds plus. Clubs wasted a lot of money on some of those players, and I'm not sure why they were confident paying that much money. Even some of them that you can say unproven in the Premier League. But Joao Pedro, what a signing he's proven to be so far. Excellent player. 2 months ago, this is not in any way a brief, really. Okay, how about the lap? I think the lap will still come good, but I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to start a baseless argument with anybody on here. Nothing again from the fans there. So we're going to move to the next item we have lined up. And remember, my promise is that once we exhaust the items we have lined up, we go news hunting. Okay? All right, but keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Give me a few seconds here. I need to create a poll to beg for likes. Yeah. Let's see. Let's do it. Start a poll. Give me 1 second. It won't take that much. I'll be right back in a bit. All right, there you go. If we catch up, we go news hunting. It's that simple. So, what did Jay say again? Probably trouble. Why should he's there looking for my trouble? So Jay says, imagine Ekitike, Joao Pedro, Palma, and Estevao in the same attack. I had a dream. Here's the thing. I think that is no solution. Actually, probably will create a lot of problems. I don't see all of them being happy together. I think after one season, you hear one or two of them looking for a way out, because there's no way you keep them all happy. They're all superstars. All probably strongly believe they're good enough to be starting for any team in any of the top leagues in the world. But that's just my opinion anyway. I am not moved by this Joao Pedro glaze. Okay, his hold of play is still weak, and he is not a real striker. We still haven't addressed that number 9 position. But here's the thing. Let me say this: it's up to you um, not to appreciate the fact that we have him, and that he's our player, that he's scoring goals. That's up to you. But yeah, for me, I choose to appreciate that and not question whether he's a traditional number 9 or not. As long as he's getting the job done, that's all that matters to me. I will not question whether he's a traditional number 9 or a hybrid number 9, or whether, yeah, we'd be better off signing certain players. I'm fine with them, honestly, and I think he will do even better. So I'm not concerned, but you have every right to see the situation the way you deem fit and judge them the way you deem fit. But I choose to see it differently. I think Ekitike will demand to leave Liverpool when Isaac is back to fitness, and you can say take the number 1 place. It's a possibility. The case could end up becoming the opposite. It could becoming you could. Who's to say we're not going to see a situation where is it a Kitike would want to stay and Isaac will be the one pushing to leave. There's no talent, because yeah, we're all taught that, yeah, that the moment Alexander Isak joins Newcastle United, Liverpool, so to speak, that's it. They're definitely going to win the league, and that be it for some of the players that play in the same position at the same club. The lab should go on a 20-year loan. I wouldn't mind if the club wants to, but I'd keep him. But if the club says they want to send him out on loan, up to them. That would simply tell me that the manager don't really trust him. Bring back Jackson, Shipa Ganacho, and bring on Matthews Mane and Yassine. Let's see what the club does. I'm not going to even debate with you. If that's exactly what you're trying to get from me, it's not going to happen. I'm tired of trying to tell people that the life will eventually come good. And there are concrete reasons why, again, he's struggled a bit, but his numbers aren't actually as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. But unfortunately, the average football fan don't, you can say, they don't look beyond the surface level in most cases. We appreciate him, but we're also not blind, coach. We who? Can you speak for yourself? I'm quite sure a lot of people disagree with you. So I don't like it when you say we. We who? Because I'm not part of that we. Maybe there are people who are part of that we, but not me. I choose to appreciate what Joao Pedro is doing. I choose to believe that he has actually a lot more to offer. So I'm not concerned. So if you choose to, yeah, whatever you choose to do, you go ahead, enjoy it, not me. So Kenya Liberation, they say, yeah, I've read that. But let's see, what else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Enzo will go to Real Madrid. It looks like something that's going to happen. How soon? I don't know. But I think if that will eventually happen. But right now, this year, I don't see it happening this year, because you would take a lot to convince Chelsea to say, okay, yeah, okay, just pay up and take him. It will take him wanting to leave, and it will take the interested club able to meet our asking price, which I think will be more than ridiculous, but redonkulous, really. But we wait and see. I have behind the surface level, the lap is hopeless. I think Guy is better. Okay, fine. And knock yourself out with that belief. The only way I want Jackson back in this team is as a 10 and Palmer backup. Palmer's backup. I cannot believe we never use or tried him in the 10th position. Think that is where he can thrive, or actually on the flanks, because he tracks back effectively. But here's the thing: I actually don't want him back at Chelsea. I think he will become toxic. We've seen that. If in fact he opted to leave Chelsea because yeah, he's seen that he again, if he stays, he'd have to fight for his place, and he doesn't want that. He wants to become the automatic number one. Every other person will be playing second fiddle to him, which isn't right. So if in fact he had to push to leave Chelsea because, for that reason, then I don't want him back, really. I don't want him back. I think he will create issues in the dressing room, and I actually don't think the club. Uh, I don't think the club would want him back in that dressing room. I know we've heard, so we've addressed some reports that suggest that yeah, the chances are he'd get to play for Chelsea again, and from his perspective, that he's actually willing uh, to, you can say, to be willing to play for Chelsea again, something to that effect. But I don't believe it, because the relationship, yeah, I don't think it would make any sort of sense to try to rekindle it. A lot was said during that period. The club, if you believe in briefs, were releasing briefs to clear their name, to ensure that a lot of people don't see it as if he was forced out. His camp was also saying a lot of nonsense. So for me, I think it's time he moves on, because what's his name? Emera is coming. Emera, quite similar to Nicholas Jackson. The question now, he's a much better finisher, if we choose to compare both. Let's see what else we have here. Everything depends on Rosenior, but most probably it's over. I think it's over. Uh, I think the club wouldn't prioritize Rosenior's desire to have Nicholas Jackson reintegrated into the squad over the sort of, you could say, issue that he would create in the dressing room. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sort of sense in my opinion, and I wouldn't risk it. But that's me. Gomez from Wolves, okay. Then you want a total rebuild, actually, if we go by your suggestion. So this one here, Axel the Sissi is really doing well for West Ham United. They've been defensively solid since he joined them, and hopefully, he said they're happy enough to give us at least 30 plus million pounds, because I think that's that number. I don't think we'd get anything north of 30 million, north of 35 million. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get anything close to how much we paid for him. But he's doing really well. I think, and they're using him as a centre back. Correct me if I'm wrong, and he's been one of your best players. Look how their main account is asking their fans to define him with two words. And Vix is saying, "Pay up," and that's a good one. Pay up, and he's all yours. But let's see what happens. And Wolves have that kid named what a talent, but Man United seems more interested in him than we are. Were you appreciating him all those games he started and didn't turn up? Yeah, I did. I was concerned how he was being utilized. I was concerned that he seemed out of form at the time, not necessarily beyond his form to start thinking maybe that he's not good enough for Chelsea. I think you can say, I didn't see it beyond him being in a bad run of form at the time, and that was it. I knew he had it in him. So I'm not sure what you're trying to achieve here. You're saying the bare minimum is enough to show appreciation. I don't think what he's done. I don't think it'd be accurate to say he's done just the bare minimum. No, he's done a lot more. He's been brilliant for us. He fights, presses hard, runs throughout his stay on the pitch. Should we appreciate Sanchez? Let me see. Should we appreciate Sanchez for costing us against Arsenal? Up to you. You choose what you want to do with that, and don't ask me again before I block you. Really, and I'm not playing. But jokes aside, bro, you should know. I think we should appreciate Joao Pedro. No complaint. And the more we appreciate him, I think if we appreciate him, he'd see that we appreciate him, and the more he'd be eager to do more. It's a confidence booster actually to appreciate the players when they're performing. And I think we should appreciate him. He's very high on confidence right now, and we want him to keep going in that trajectory. Or you could say, long may that continue. And he needs our support. So why would I not appreciate that? I mean, you don't have to appreciate him. You can start saying, tell him. You can say, find a way to explain how we'd be better off recalling Nicholas Jackson and sending him back to Brighton. It's your opinion. You're entitled to it. Jackson is this young. Drama was also a hothead when he came to Chelsea. Then he grew up. Give Jackson a chance. I am willing to give him a chance, and I was one of those who wanted him to stay. But we heard from the transfer guru himself, yeah, that he's had a falling out with the hierarchy, and that he's definitely leaving. He was definitely going to leave Chelsea at the time. So I don't think it's a matter of giving him another chance. I think it's a matter of, you say, even it's not a matter of him wanting to come back. I think the relationship is, you could argue, uh is soured. It's gone down south. The only thing holding it is the fact he's still under contract, and that's just that. Up big to you too, Ty. I appreciate you finding time to join the conversation. If you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the video to all of you. And Ty, thank you, my bro. Always nice to see you here. Can you leave me alone, man? He says I refuse to fall for this trap. We've been there before. I am not buying it, coach. Next topic. You don't have to. We've talked about that. You don't have to. And I hope that West Ham United, they pay up. They give us something, say close to 40 million pounds. I'd take it. But I don't think we'll get anything close to 40 million pounds. Probably at most we'd get 34 or 35 million pounds or so. I I don't know. But he's doing really well for them, really. All right, let's see what else do we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. So if you're in the chat and you know this kid very well, Yassine, how do you pronounce his first name? Gessime Yassine or Yassine. I'm not sure. But I'm definitely, one thing is certain, I'm definitely butchering both his first and last name. All right, it reads, according to, is that pronounced tries or trees? According to tries, Chelsea attended the Strasbourg versus Reims match, and Gessime Yassine caught their attention. So this isn't necessarily saying that, yeah, we will move for him in the summer or we're interested in signing him. They are expected to keep a close eyes on him in the coming weeks, according to Sports Witness. I think this, for me, chances are this is absolute nonsense. We've heard before that we will sign attacking players in the summer. I think we're looking to sign probably more established player than Yassine because he's still very young, very raw. If you've watched him, I haven't watched him long enough, but definitely still very raw, in my opinion, from what I've seen so far. Yassine is better than every winger at Chelsea except Kenda and Estevao. Wow, really? That's that's a bold statement right there. He's a better than every winger at Chelsea, except Kenda and Estevao. You serious, man, or you joking? Give me a second here. You're serious. You're not playing. So let's go to Data MB. Uh Yep, that's AMB, that's football. Yep, our web application, the comparison tool isn't working properly at the moment, and I haven't had the time to get that part sorted out. So let's see players. I no longer pay for the pro version because yeah, I can actually implement a tool on our own web app to start doing that. So we're talking about let's go wingers. Okay, Jess says Yassine is a good player, but not meant for Premier League. I am tired of the lack of height and physicality in our team. We cannot add more midgets. Fragile. It looks like Bobby just possessed you. Midgets and fragile players to our squad. Jay, it looks like Bobby. It looks like Bobby just possessed you, and I'm not playing. It just looks like it. Just give me a second here. Let me compare him to our current wingers. All right, let me see here. Mm. Okay, let me find him. How'd you spell his name again? Yeah, he's not here. Let me see that again. Yassine. Yep, he's not there. Sine. Nope. How about let's go. What's his first name again? Yeah, I can't find him here, so there's no way I'd compare him. And let me go to footystats.org. Okay, let's go to footystats.org. Let's see if we see anything. Oh, I wanted to use this for another comparison exercise. Just give me a second here. So I'm going to go to footystats on this particular window. But more likes, people, more likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. So let's go. No, not by no. I wanted to compare him. Sorry, I wanted to compare him to our current players. So I want to go to footystats here. Give me a second. Okay, I'll be showing you guys that window. Give me 1 sec right here. I'll be back. So I'm going to go to footystats.org. Let's go to Strasbourg and see Yassine. Let's go. Give me 1 second here. But more likes, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I freaking hate this, guys, because a lot of pop-ups and they do slow it down a lot. So let's see. That number 10 at City is short, and he plays in the Premier League. But in City don't have too many. You can say they have a lot more taller players than we do. That's the point. That's the main point you should be paying attention to. Ty, thank you for triggering that command. I appreciate that, bro. Let's see what else do we have here. Let me look at this. If we were consistent as fans, Parma should have been cooked for being mead. He gets a special treatment from certain fans. Why not call it out too much? Listen, we did mention here that Parma is struggling. Again, he's been in a bad run of form and not down to his own making. He was carrying an injury and was refusing to go. You can say under the knife or so because he wants to be available for selection and help the team. So yeah, I think a lot of people know that yeah, he's struggled with injuries, but I don't think he struggled to the measure where it makes sense to cook him. If you start cooking him, I think cooking him would make the situation worse, actually. And it should be the same for every player, except a player that consistently proves that yeah, they're not good enough, they're bad, hardly ever produces. Then yeah, cook them. And push him out of the club if you can. Let's get the likes up, people. The likes do go a long way. Please like the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Sincerely do appreciate that. That's because they have a tank like Rodri to complement that. Yeah, exactly. You see, balance of profile is very important. And in our midfield, we have a lot of a lot of short players. Yeah, we have a lot of very, very short players in our midfield area, especially. We have top players too. Fafana, Trevor, Sa, Joao, Pedro, Badiashile, and where do those guys play? But if you look at our midfield, the makeup of our midfield, we have a lot of short players there. And Ty says, "Oh, 1 month. Has it been a month already? Or maybe you joined and then you didn't renew because that's the only reason why yeah it's counting it as a month. But yeah, I appreciate you, Ty. Thank you so much for that. He says the reality is good players will struggle too. It doesn't matter whether I agree. There's that saying that there is almost always adaptation a period for players who move from one league to the other. Even even if they move within the league from one club to the other within the league, sometimes yeah they might again. There's no guarantee that they hit the ground running. Yeah, I am Moroccan. The Moroccan coach will be changed. This coach will call up youngsters in Morocco. Let me see what he's saying. Morocco got a good future, and Gessime Yassine is on fire. So that's someone confirming what Kenya Revolutionary said already. That Yassine is a good player. But rumors are that Chelsea are scouting him. Whether we're into, I don't know whether to believe the rumor indeed because I learned about him from Vince, but I don't know much about him. But you, Diamond, okay, the Mama, and the Kenyan Revolutionary, two names I can't say fluently. You two seem to be, even Jake did say something about the kid being a good player, and I've seen Vince singing praises or waxing Atleticos about him. Maybe I need to learn more about him. If we're scouting him good, but I don't think I believe the reports suggesting that, yeah, we went to watch another player but yeah, he caught our eyes, and now we're looking at him, and we'll keep an eye on him for the coming weeks. We might be interested. I don't know. Barcelona of 2011 had lots of shot players, and watch how they dominated. Let's not make excuses, but it's different in the Premier League. If we're being honest, that's not to share. That's not to say that teams with shot players that they cannot win. They can win, but if you have a good balance of tall players, tall physical players, you have a better opportunity to do well in the Premier League. Yeah, it makes sense. Even Pep at some point decided to mix things up. If you followed him, so let's see. I have been a member before, but the membership never renewed. Okay, exactly what I said. I don't know how it can be a month when it was literally 3 days ago. So that it counts the fact that yeah that you've been a member before. That Barca team had PK and Sergio Busquets, only who you could argue that were tall. Yeah, but you get my point in terms of having in the Premier League, it makes a difference. In Europe, not that much, but it can to a certain extent, really. He's very good at giving crossings and team playing. He got Neymar flair. Wow, that's a bold statement right there. I need to educate myself more on him. I need to watch him even more. Yeah, but let's see. Let's try and find him here. League. Let's go to league. Leagues, the French league. Where is it? League A. There you go. All right, more likes, people. More likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. It is still 7:47 p.m. CST. If you haven't, please take a second and drop a like on the video. All right, let's see. Where are they? Strasbourg. They're 8th position. Okay, let's see players. Give me a second. It is to be a bit slow. Let's see if we find him here. Emmanuel Emera, Bakwa, Nanasi, Panicelli, Diego Morella, another player I want at Chelsea. So, but I'm looking for shoes. He's not on the list for them. Why? Forwards. For forwards, they have Emmanuel Emera, Bakwa, Sebastian Nanasi, Panicelli, Diego Morella, Lucas, and David Dacho Fofana. So I'm looking. Yeah, he's not listed there, but that's okay. But I believe you guys. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? It's a Modmana. No player can keep the ball like him. His dribbling is untouched. Why don't I know more about this kid, really? But probably because he's not playing that much. He hasn't played that much for Strasbourg. I remember, I can't quite remember what Gary O'Neill, the current Strasbourg manager, what he said about him, which, if I remember how it was phrased, which means he came off the bench. And occasions, I think on occasions that I've heard Vince talk about him, he's come off the bench too. So he's not quite there yet. Even as good as he is, probably because he's still a kid, and so yeah. I keep telling you, forget the stats. That kid is something. If you watch him, I will watch him next time. Hopefully he starts, but he doesn't start for them. You will want Garnacho and get. That is some comment right there. He said you want Garnacho and get his gun tonight. The only downside is that he also operates mostly on the right hand side, and we prefer players that are able to play on either side. But yeah, what else do we have here? Filip Jorgensen results. Okay, Filip Jorgensen deserves acknowledging, I'm guessing, but hasn't done enough to be appreciated. I hope Rosenior officially drops Bambi for him. It's a possibility, but given what I'm hearing that the manager said, it smells like Robert Sanchez is in trouble. Or maybe we might start seeing a situation whereby Robert Sanchez gets to play again. The goalkeeper we see on the pitch on match days will depend mainly on the opposition. Because clearly, I think it'd be accurate to say Sanchez is the better shot stopper of the two goalkeepers. Filip Jorgensen, I'm not concerned. He's still very young and eventually will improve in terms of shot stopping. But he's much better on the ball than Robert Sanchez, and we've always known that that's the case. And it's actually not bad goalkeeper. And I think I've said this severally. He had confidence issues, and the only time he's struggled to perform for us between the sticks are those times where he had to be called upon to replace Robert Sanchez when Robert Sanchez had got injured or maybe wasn't feeling well, and he didn't live up to, you could say, measure up to the fans' expectations expectations because fans at the time were rooting for him to take Robert Sanchez's place, but he had shaky outings in the absence of Robert Sanchez. But in Europe, he did very very well. In the conference league, he did exceptionally well in my opinion. It was brilliant in the final. That I'd say that had it not been for his brilliance between the sticks on the day, that we go into the second, you could say would leave the pitch after the first half with 3 goals down. But he was brilliant, kept us in the game, and we won. And I was concerned actually that Enzo Maresca was going to drop in for Robert Sanchez, given the fact that we've seen things that that did suggest at the time that Enzo Maresca trusted what's his name, Robert Sanchez than Filip Jorgensen. So Jorgensen isn't a bad goalkeeper. He's one of the best in world football in terms of his ability on the ball, his ball playing ability. But shot stopping is the area where he definitely needs to improve. But there's something that happened. Maybe you could argue it was easier for him to pull it off to get that amount of high claims because we didn't play against a team that has a team, like you say, that has tall, more physical players. So, but he was still, which meant that he was still able to comfortably command his area or command his box. But he for the first time, maybe I've not been paying attention, he had a total number of 3 high claims in a single game, and I've never seen that before. So my point is, I think because he's still very young, he will still improve that aspect of his game. Shot stopping, he's not that bad, but one thing that I know that he needs to improve definitely, or is this again the high claims, which I'm glad maybe we've started working on that for him. Usually he did come off his line, sweep, coming off his line to clear the ball. That's something he does very well. He's a good sweeper keeper, but doesn't command his area very well. But how he performed against Aston Villa, I'd say reflect the fact that they're working on helping him improve in areas where he needs to improve. This is why we need Matheus Mane to be our left winger. Let's see what happens. There's a catchphrase. It's a possibility. All right, let's see. Someone delete my message, brother. Sorry, nobody will. Somebody deleted. Who deleted his message? Did anybody delete his message? Did anybody delete D Mama's message? No, nobody deleted your message. I read your messages. Yeah, so let's see. Bambi is in trouble. Is in trouble. It smells like it. If you put 2 and 2 together, you could argue chances are he's in trouble. You could argue it's just the manager ensuring that our second choice goalkeeper plays. So if anything happens to our first choice goalkeeper, the second choice goalkeeper, he'd be ready to come in and do a good enough job because he's capable, really. And you can say, in all honesty, he's better equipped to help the manager implement his style of football because he's better on the ball than Robert Sanchez. We don't need Einstein to actually tell us that. But more likes, people keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. We should be doing a lot better than 12 likes. Okay, you're having a debate with Modman, slug it out with him. Sanchez needs to go. Bring back Penders and keep Jorgensen. Better be careful. You better be careful. Penders might be better on the ball than Robert Sanchez, but Robert Sanchez is definitely the better goalkeeper. He's definitely better at shot stopping than Penders. Experience is important. And I remember one, I think Bobby caught that. I think it was a corner kick. he wasn't proactive. He was waiting for the ball to come to him, and the opposition player and an opposition player leaped, but was unlucky on the day not to get to the ball. So that's inexperience for you. With experience, he'd be better of like he'd know that he'd be better of being proactive, going for the ball, and not wait for the ball to get for him, because you risk opposition players getting to the ball and nodding it into the back of the net. So he's still very inexperienced. If you watch them, as good as he can be, again, he's shown that he can be. There are certain situations that, yeah, if you watch him how he applies himself in certain situations, you'd know that, yeah, he's still too inexperienced. If possible, I'd rather him spend one more season at Strasbourg, honestly. And I hopefully they will make, like you said, they will finish higher up in the French league table and get to play in Europe, which will make it a lot easier to convince him to spend one more season there. But I'm concerned because I heard that Tottenham are interested in signing him. I think Tottenham and the only club mentioned, actually. I think about three clubs we're hearing are interested in signing him. But I don't think, and the response they got is that, yeah, we're not looking to sell him, not not for any amount of money. I'd rather Sanchez right now than Penders, because Sanchez is more experienced, and on his day, even again, can be good on the ball and actually can save you points. Than he's a much better shot stopper than Penders, in my opinion, a much better shot stopper than Jorgensen. But Jorgensen much better on the ball than him. Penders the same thing. And I'd be cautious with the call for Penders to come back and become a number one. Remember Petrovic. Have you seen the sort of goals he's conceded in the Premier League? Yeah, so the French league, the intensity doesn't measure the intensity. Again, the measure the way the intensity of the Premier League. And if you've been following what's his name, Petrovic, since his return to the Premier League, you'd see the difference. Yeah, he was all good at the time when he was still at Strasbourg. The short passes, not a lot of teams press aggressively. The intensity doesn't, you can say, not as high as it can be in the Premier League. And people just with that alone thought, yeah, I think we have ourselves a much better goalkeeper than Robert Sanchez. And in all honesty, numbers at the time suggest that, yeah, that he's much better than Robert Sanchez. But some of us were cautious given the disparity in intensity between the two leagues. And I think he's proven that point to be accurate since returning to the Premier League. So I'd be cautious with that, really. So let's see in what manner they're still having a conversation with people in the chat. It says, brother, what choose your country? Nigeria. But I've been here for like 1,000 years, if you get what I mean. So yeah. But I'm an American, yeah, Nigerian American, if anything like that exists. So Nigeria is my birth country, America my adopted country, and I love being an American. You can compare Palmer and Yassine, different profile, different stage in their careers. I don't think it makes sense to compare both. It wouldn't make any sort of sense to do that. All right, Bambi is better on the ball. That's true. But his errors and Bozo decisions outweighs everything. Did you say Bambi is better? Are we mixing things up here? Who are you referring to as Bambi? Yeah, because Robert Sanchez isn't better on the ball than Jorgensen. Jorgensen is much better on the ball. Bambi is better on the ball. That's true. But his errors and Bozo decisions outweighs everything else. What's the point of a shot stopping and good passing if you are constantly conceding goals? He's not better on the ball, but he's better at facilitating long balls. Yeah. Filip Jorgensen better on the ball, and he's more equipped to help the manager implement his preferred style of play. He's quicker at you can say at deciding on what to do with the ball. If he can, if it's on occasions where he's allowed to pick it up with his hand, he picks it up quicker than Robert Sanchez would do and throw it to his teammates. And the accuracy of his throws are excellent, actually. But yeah, but you get the gist. So you're mixing things up there a bit. Let's see. To be honest, Cole Palmer is overrated, and that's your opinion. Let's not get it twisted. He's a good player, but Yassine has that spirit of Neymar, Messi, and Hazard. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to even add Ronaldo there and Maradona there too. I think it makes sense to add all those names. Then we figure out how he's able to encompass all the, you can say, most important traits of those players you just mentioned. But yeah, thank you, my brother. Love Morocco too. Uh, love every country really. I don't. I'm not selective in terms of you could say my association with people for any reason whatsoever. Not because of religion, not because of nationality, color, or anything. I don't. I'm not selective. I just like people who are open minded, more importantly. But thank you for that, and I appreciate you for saying that. All right, looks like it's about time we go news hunting. But before we do that, I wanted us to compare the three goalkeepers we have within our ranks to see how they compare. So I'm going to have to go back to switch. Okay, I'm going to have to switch to GK. All right, 14 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. If you haven't, please take a second to drop a like on the stream and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So what's this button about? I'm not sure. Is it to lock it in? I'm not sure really. What's this saying there? So Penders, let's do Mike Penders, Strasbourg. He's still 20. Mike Penders is still 20. He's still a kid, really. All right, let's see. My gosh, this Yassine hype. Our fans have a fetish for Strasbourg players. 1 week it's Barco, then Morella. But man, give me Morella. Just give me Diego Morella. I didn't actually want that kid to go out on loan. I wanted him to stay, but Chelsea played it smart. We sold him because we didn't have any more loan slots at the time. So we sold him to Strasbourg for cheap with a buyback clause, which is for me, that's genius, really. So he said, "My God, this is sin hype. Our fans have a fetish for Strasbourg players. 1 week it's Barco, then Morella, then El Morabet, and now it's Yassine. Yassine. Wait next week for Benchio. I'm not going to be surprised if I start hearing our fans calling for the return of Benchio because, yeah, he's doing well, but I don't want him back at Chelsea. I love, I love Marco Correa, and I love Yoro Hato. Currently one of my favorite players right now. But yeah, this is that's hilarious, really. I'll come back to the presentation window. So Jay deserves to be celebrated for that. I like how the way he put that. So should I do fireworks or light? Maybe let's do fireworks for Jay because that's a good one. That's a good comment, really. Why is not Nightbot deleting the mamas? I don't like that. The mama, sorry, the AI that's policing the chat is deleting your messages. I apologize for that. Um, but let's see. Yeah, Jay, that's a good one, and I like it. All right, who else do we have here? Yeah, that's funny from Jay. Yes, Yassine is 20. Is it pronounced Yassine? 20 times better than Morella, Diego Morella. Wow. Jesus Christ. I think you're a hype man. So I've added Mike Penders, so I'm gonna add Jorgensen. You gotta be kidding me. Is he not there? And I'm on goalkeepers. Jesus Christ. Why am I not seeing? I cannot compare them. So I've added Penders. So why am I not seeing Jorgensen? Jesus Christ. It's not showing. So let me see the F. That's. Yeah. I can't see Filip Jorgensen there. I don't like that. But if I do Sanchez, I think I'll see it. Definitely. See, Robert Sanchez for 25-26. So why am I not seeing the other goalkeeper, Filip Jorgensen? Because yeah, Jesus Christ, this is serious. This is this is cracking me up. Um, this is seriously lopsided. In areas where Penders is better, and that's we're going by numbers now, is better than Robert Sanchez. He's way better than him in those areas. In areas where Robert Sanchez is better, emerged better than Penders, he's way better than him uh, in those in those areas. That's seriously funny. The obsession with young unproven talents is a real fetish. Coach would rather look at height. I'm not into height thing. I just had to speak about the subject objectively. How many times have you heard me? Have you heard me mention about the height of certain players being an issue? Or their, you can say, build, aka physicality or physique maybe. I hardly ever do that. I just had to touch on the subject and speak objectively about it, which meant I had to mention their height and how it can bring balance to the squad. It's not my thing. The first thing I look for in a player is that player's footballing intelligence. If you like, you can be as tall as a pen. I don't care. It's not my thing. But that's not to say I don't understand the importance of having a balanced squad that's capable of dealing, you can say, playing against any team, irrespective of their makeup, irrespective of whether they have Yokozunas in their midfield or Andre the Giants in their midfield or players that are as tall as basketball. So yeah, but you get the gist. Let's see. Yeah, he says, Coach, I would rather look at height, like those pop the balloon dating shows instead of scouting for best. Listen, you're actually an idiot, seriously. But I'm quite sure you know exactly what you're doing. You know, I hardly ever mention the height. I hardly ever mention the height of players, and because you're my bro, I know you're not gonna take offense. But I'm not. I'm gonna show you this. If you're gonna take offense, take offense. What is wrong with you? You won't let me host the show in peace. What? I'm looking for something that I by mistake clicked on yesterday, thinking I was clicking on thumbs up. Where is it? Is it this one? I think it could be this one. I hope it is. Ah, shoot, it's not. Which one is it? Come on. Now that it's important to me, I can't find it. You know what? Just good. You're lucky. I wanted to show it to you. But just by the way, let's see. He says, please watch Yassine last match with his new club. I will. I will. I promise you. Again, a lot of people have been hyping him. Vince, especially Vince, likes him. It's not hype. It's like watching a young Neymar. It's still hype. Hype doesn't necessarily mean that what you're saying about the player doesn't reflect the qualities that the player possess. Yeah. So, which is why I can say something to the effect of I'd be disappointed that after this hype, after how much hype, how you can say how many times I've seen you hype the player, he ends up disappointing me. I'm not going to be happy. Something to that effect. So hype doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad player. Hype is hype. Yeah. But let's see. It's like watching a young Neymar. I don't need stats to know starts to know that he was a better footballer than Cristiano Ronaldo. Um, Numbers are important. Numbers justify what eye test tell you. Yeah, what you observe with your eyes. Numbers justify that. If you remember when we had Bonanote on loan, some people were singing him praises. And in one of our shows here, we talked about how he's looked good on looked good in the eyes, looked good. The interplays, the 1-2 touches, the sleek control and everything, but not a lot of end product, and which is where numbers come in. And numbers at the time showed that yeah, he's just basically useless on the pitch, just like fine boy, no money, something like that Nigerians would say. So yeah, but that's by the way he says. He says Coach, you and Bobby are height enthusiasts. Don't deny it. No, I'm not. I'm not. I've told you that, and you're just pulling my legs. I don't really care about how tall a player is. What I look for in a player is the player's footballing intelligence, and that's it. And Jay says, I've sent you a good analysis of this Yassine kid on X. Check it out. And yes, this guy knows a lot about profiles and tactics. Yeah, I trust the numbers. I'm not denying whether he's a good player or not. And I've said I don't know much about him. I've seen Vince wax lyricals about him, you could say singing praises and all that, but I haven't actually watched him 90 minutes, and he doesn't start that much for Strasbourg. Um, all right, let's see. He owned his team last match, 2 pens and 3 deadly crosses. I'm not questioning whether the kid is good or not, but let's look at how Penders how and that's how he compares to what's his name, Robert Sanchez. So wow, okay. Okay, aerial one. Okay, Pandas, as tall as he is, let me check the minutes. Pandas has played 2,282 minutes, and Sanchez has played 2,600. He's played a lot more. Um, Save percentage, Pandas is at 52.9%, while Sanchez is at 62.7%. So Sanchez has a better save percentage. He's a better shot stopper. Off the bat, I know that's the case. Aerials one, that is high claim. Pendas, I think Pendas definitely taller than Robert Sanchez, isn't he? But he doesn't. He has a aerials one at 33.3, while Sanchez is at 76.5. So you could argue the Pendas at this point is not that good at commanding his area. And I did reference something that Bobby caught, and thank goodness I watched that. I did watch that clip of his where he wasn't proactive. He was waiting for the ball to come to him. But when you command your area very, very well, you don't wait for the ball to come to you. You're almost always proactive, except if you're blocked. So proactivity means you leave you where you're standing. You don't stay static. You move. Try and get to the ball. You're allowed to use your hand as goalkeeper. And as tall as he is, come on, aerials one should be much better than 33.3%. So I don't want him to come and replace Robert Sanchez. It'd be a huge mistake if we do that. I don't think he's that ready. Except if the manager, you could say, if for the manager his ability on the ball trumps his shot stopping ability, then that be his decision. But I'm not for it. I want him to spend one more season at Strasbourg I don't think he's ready to become our number one. The Premier League is a different animal. He says, if we are to talk football based on numbers, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi are great footballers in history. If we're talking pure football, Maradona, Ronaldinho, Pele, Ronaldo 9, okay, De Lima, and Zidane are gods. Those guys have good numbers. They all those names you mentioned, they all have good numbers. They don't just look good in the on the eyes. They still have the numbers to back it up, to justify what you're seeing when you watch them. Yeah, when you watch them, those games where they dazzle, check the numbers. Numbers also back up, justify what the eye sees. What the eyes see, if you prefer. But you get the gist. So yeah, they don't just have numbers. They don't just have the you can say the fancy stuff. They have the numbers too to back up whatever they do on the pitch. Jay was mentioning. Just leave me the heck alone. You guys cannot drag me to that place. There was a meet meet and height. Anyway, anyone who watches the Premier League and doesn't have a height and physicality fetish is actually not watching the Premier League. I understand the importance of those, you can say, attributes you just mentioned in the Premier League, but I'm saying for me, the first thing I look in a player is that player's football and intelligence, and that's me. Uh, Oh my goodness. Martinez from United is like 5 feet and he's a top center back. Height isn't everything. It's not everything, but sometimes it comes in handy. Height isn't everything. For instance, Ben Chilwell, I think, yeah, Ben Chilwell isn't the tallest, but he has a good leap in him. He has excellent leap. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong. He has a good leap in him. There are tall players, but they're just tall for nothing. I think Penders is just like Donnarumma, who, as tall as he is, doesn't command his box very well. Yeah. Um, uh, the Americanization of football, soccer is ruining football with stats, but they, nice talk. Houston, just if you don't, if you, I think, listen, if that's how you want to see it, okay, good night. We don't have to all. You can say, okay, you know what? We let's just go with what Kenyan revolutionary is saying. He's right, and I'm tired of saying that. We all don't have to agree with you. We don't have to. Numbers are important, but don't go with numbers alone. Eye test also important, but don't go with eye test alone. Both complement each other. And I'm going to use Enzo Fernandez as an example. There are games that eye test would suggest that, yeah, he didn't do anything in the game. But when you look at numbers will say he was actually one of the most productive players on the day, and vice versa. Sometimes eye test will say he was crappy on the day, but when you look at numbers will tell you, yeah, he was actually one of the best players on the day. So just I don't, and I'm not sure. I don't want to argue that with you, but yeah, okay, you know what? If you feel like we all have to agree with you, no, I don't agree. I don't go by numbers alone. And those names you mentioned, they all had good numbers. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why. Well, if you're an American, you don't know football. Yeah, that's the common uh common belief, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, America catching strays out of nowhere. Yeah, exactly. How that came into the conversation, I honestly don't know. But that's by the way. Let's look at it in terms of interceptions. A lot more from Robert Sanchez. Okay, passes completed. A lot more from Penders. 98.0 and the 83.0 for Robert Sanchez. Okay, for long passes. Penders 91.5. Wow, 11.1 for Robert Sanchez. The disparity is huge. It's just like what we talked about. Areas where one is better than the other, it's usually by a wide margin, as you can see if you look at on the spider graph on the screen right here. Short passes, even Penders a lot more. Okay, you could argue approach also is important. It's important to take the approach of the team into consideration because Rosenior was their manager until a few months ago before he could say he became a manager. So they keep it. They used to keep it close a lot, and we keep it close, but not all the time. Under Enzo Maresca, we go long in some cases, but at Strasbourg, especially when Rosenior was still their manager, they keep it close. A lot of short passes from the goalkeeper to his defenders. So yeah, that's nothing much there. But in terms of commanding the box, he has a lot to learn in that aspect, in my opinion. All right. What do you want me to say? That shocked me, really. I think the Kenyan revolutionary, I like him though, but he's the sort of person, once he comes, he's trying to convince everybody to believe him that he's the one that is right. And when that doesn't happen, he goes to bed immediately. But yeah, that's him. Good night to him. And I don't no, we all don't have to suck up to what you tell us. We're entitled to our respective opinions. But yeah, if you want to come start slating Americans for not knowing football because we feel like numbers are important, uh that's your that's a you problem. All right, time to go news hunting. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And for those of you in the chat, I haven't heard much from you guys with regards to the rumors, according to Ben Jacobs, that Manchester United are interested in signing Andrey Santos from Chelsea, which I don't think will happen in a zillion years. All right, let's see. Vince. I'm gonna go to my brother Vincent's timeline because I trust him. He always keeps it objectives. He does sometimes present his opinion, but whatever he does, he lets you know that that part of that particular report is his opinion by means of presentation. Areas one is very, very essential in the Premier League 2026. A goalkeeper must be good at this category. I do agree with you. And the fact that Penders, it's an area where he struggles. Um, I think he needs to stay one more season there. I don't think it'd be sensible for him to come and take Robert Sanchez's place. I think it will be a huge risk, and I don't want us to do that. Maybe it's down to how they play there in France. Maybe if he comes, then he'll start to train, or again to learn how to command his box better. But I think that kid he still has a lot to learn. Goalkeepers, they say goalkeepers age like fine wine, and believe me, that is the truth. That is definitely the truth. So yeah, but I think I'm not gonna say I don't really believe the rumors that the plan that the manager prefers having Penders as his number one goalkeeper. Chances are it's absolute horse dog. Chances are it's also the truth, but we don't know but the Premier League is not the French league. It's a different animal. All right, news hunting time. And if you have any questions, drop it in the live chat session, and I'll try to address it. But remember, um, you don't ask difficult questions. If you ask difficult questions, I'll pretend I cannot see your question. I'm just kidding anyway. I'll try the best I can to ask your question. If I cannot, I will let you know. But don't put me on the spot with a difficult question. Be fair a little bit. So let's see. All right, let me see. What Mana is saying to Jay? I started a fight. He says, mate, you're having a laugh, right? Ariel's one for a keeper. Now that's for the big lads at the back, not the keepers. They need to be commanding their areas. Yeah, Jay, you and Jay are saying the same thing, but you don't just want Jay to say it like you. All right. Peter Crouch says, I would pay money to watch them, Joao Pedro and Cole Palmer. Yeah, it's actually it's an idiot. Actually, Modmana is an idiot. It's a machine that feels like he knows everything. There you go. Jim mentioned it, and it comes back. Feel sorry for me. Why is that then? You lot just love to have a go at Chelsea. Don't you pad down, mate? We will be back on top soon enough. He doesn't even know that Jay say it's losing its Modmana is losing its shit. So Peter Crouch likes both players. No surprises there. Cole Palmer isn't even 100% yet. But I think a lot of people know that, which is why a lot of people are a bit reluctant to start. You could say cooking him. Some Chelsea fans are cooking him, but not a lot. Opposition fans are cooking him on daily basis. Actually, penalty merchant and all that, blah 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 blah. So okay. Yeah, let me read this because this is interesting. I think we should talk about Tottenham. Here, Vince says, in hindsight, Tottenham really made a mistake sacking Ange Postecoglou. They thought he was the problem. He was never the problem. And you've heard that interview with what news outlet exactly? I can't remember. Where again he said something that suggests that actually it doesn't look like they're ready to win. Um, Something isn't quite right there. I would have kept Angie, maybe try to convince him to learn to be a bit more pragmatic, to do better in the Premier League. He won them a European trophy, didn't he? Correct me if I'm wrong. A few months ago, and then they hired him and fired him and hired Thomas Frank, which I was actually concerned because Frank does know how to be a bit, you say, pragmatic, even you could say overly pragmatic sometimes. Uh, you should see expression talk about him how defensive he's been since becoming when he became their manager. I think it was a mistake also firing Thomas Frank. He just needed time because that it was a drastic shift in style from the offensive approach of the Australian, what's his name again, Ange Postecoglou, to Thomas Frank. The drastic shift in approach, it was a dangerous move in the first place. Okay, now after hiring, what's his name? After hiring Thomas Frank, just give him time. He needed time, and then they fired him. Now they have what's his name? Igor Tudor. And I'm gonna lie. There's something I'm gonna show you guys. He said something that I was like, ooh, expression. I can't wait to watch the next video that expression will release because that statement is crazy. He said, I'm gonna find it and read it. I couldn't stop laughing when I read it, and I had to respond actually. Um, Come on, I can't find it. I'm trying to find it. Apologies, guys. Just give me a few seconds here. I will open it. But Igor Tudor, he looks. Talk about a manager looking clueless. He does look clueless. But I still think they will survive it. But they might have to fire him now. I think they have to. If they don't fire him, it's gonna get worse. And those teams in the bottom table, they're actually they're fighting more than Tottenham. Tottenham, the entire 11, they look deflated. They look disinterested. They look like they're not. They can say they don't have the belief that they're capable of winning a game. Even though they scored first, I knew they were going to lose that game. That's how bad things have become for Tottenham. All right, give me a second here. Let me look at this. I want to find what Igor Tudor says there. Is it this one? Okay, look. Pay attention to what he said that I responded to. My response is irrelevant, but I'm going to read it anyway. He says, Igor Tudor here says, give me a second. Igor Tudor, the boat is going in the right direction. That's one of the most funniest shit I've ever seen. And ironically, it's a boat. It's a boat, so to speak. But where is the boat going? And you know they're saying that the boat is sinking. Really, I don't know how he thought of you can say an analogy to use, and it has to be about a boat. And he says the boat is going in the right direction. Who is in the boat? Who is in the boat can say can stay. The others can leave the boat. If I were there, I'd choose to leave the boat. I'd choose to leave the boat because it is sinking. It is not headed in the right direction. If anything, it is sinking, and I don't know how he thought about this. And when you know what, this is a good analogy to use. It's very funny, and ironically, yeah, he knows that probably after saying it, he realized that was a strange thing to say, and then he says it sounds strange, but I believe more. I believe more after this game than I did before. I saw something. I don't know. It's all jumbled up. Actually, it's actually difficult to understand what he's trying to say. And I said, "That's right, Igor. Tottenham are on a boat." On a boat headed in one direction, and that destination is relegation. Really, because this guy sounds this. I'm sorry, but this sounds. He sounds like an idiot here. Really, if they don't change him, they might actually end up getting relegated. What sort of stupid analogy is this? Comparing a club that is struggling to stay up to a boat, and you've been there, played 3 games, lost 3 games in a row, and you're using boat as an analogy and saying the boat is going in the right direction, and you've lost 3 games in a row. He's stupid. I'm sorry. Match day 37, Chelsea versus Tottenham. I'm actually concerned because how badly they've played. They might actually have some of their best players back, and it's either we relegate them or they take points off of us and we end up not finishing in the top 5. But God forbid, one could send the other to the championship, while the other could pull the one from UEFA Champions League. I agree. So it'd be more like a final on the day. Yeah, that's quite interesting, really. Tudor might give us Titanic too. In 2026, since he's talking about a boat, I think his brain is fried. He's probably thinking, asking himself, what sort of bullcrap did he get himself into? I feel bad for him, really. But my goodness, I wouldn't take that job either. It was a huge mistake for him to have accepted that job in the first place. But we have Bands in the house. Bands, I appreciate you finding the time to join me on the panel. How are you doing, man?
Coachy, I'm all right. Yourself?
I can't complain, bro. I can't complain. Any day above ground is a good day. I'm just going to start off by asking you: did you see the rumors that Manchester United are interested in signing Andrey Santos? I want to know what you make of that report.
Which source was making that
From
statement?
Ben Jacobs.
Well, they can make effort to sign Santos, and I don't have any problem them signing Santos, but as to whether we are willing to offer Santos to Manchester United is another question. And I don't feel like he's a player we are ready and willing to give out to Manchester United.
I,
Especially we
I I
don't know
think Enzo Fernandez probably will leave Chelsea before him.
who.
Enzo Fernandez will leave Chelsea before him
Yeah,
because
yeah. I
he's
was.
achieved something at Chelsea. And if we win a Champions League like this year or next season or the Premier League, he will probably most likely push to leave to go to like Real Madrid if they're interested and they're able to afford him. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, how can we offer you somebody that we treasure so much? Andrey Santos, with all due respect, is part of the future, squad. And if we sell to our, bitter rivals, that would be one of the strangest, mistake this club is making. So people can just come up with their own, suggestion, unless Andres Santos is really not happy and he want to go to
But
Manchester
the
United.
signs
But
are good. He's playing a lot.
yeah, I mean, when he wasn't getting enough time, he didn't even go to Manchester United. Now that he has a coach who is giving him more playing time, I don't think
Mhm.
it's something he's willing to do, and I don't pay attention to this rumor. There is no way Santos will be leaving, and they are just making and they were making a whole lot of nonsense about that. But
Let
I
me
don't
just,
see.
just briefly add my opinion on the rumors at the time that Copama wasn't happy that he's homesick. I think they use different. You say they phrased it different outlet at the time. Phrased it differently. I can't say that correctly, but here's the thing. I think there seemed to be a coordinated effort to try to get him, you can say, to
Hmm.
turn his head, for lack of a more relatable or specific term, that at the time, Bruno Fernandez, when he scored a hat trick, commented on his Instagram post, "What a player!" Something to that effect. For me, he knew exactly what he's doing. I don't think he'd on paper just out of nowhere hype a Chelsea player, whereas his club and our club were vying for a place in the top five, so that we get to participate in the next edition of the Champions League. And then there are also Manchester United are lying the big account, spewing, spreading the rumors at the time, pundits, and even after Chelsea said, yeah, he's untouchable, they were arguing that, yeah, maybe they haven't seen a good enough offer to let him go. So there seems to be a coordinated effort to see if they can turn his head, and which will lead to him telling Chelsea that, yeah, he'd like to leave. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, Manchester United, if you look at that club, it's a very big club. They have a very strong media,
Mhm.
relations, and their social media is always trying to set an agenda that can, come to reality. And I am not surprised when you go to some of these outlets, you see a whole lot of things that they bring up, and at the end of the day, it works. So, therefore, they are making whether they need Andres Santos or whether Kopama will be joining them, they can keep trying. But I don't see how Chelsea will allow these players to join them in any way because if you look at these players, they are the future of our club. And I don't see if they want Show and Disasi. Obviously, we are hoping to sell those players and they can come for
We'll even give them Jara.
what is.
You know what Jara is, right?
Yeah, so
Like
I
when
mean,
you buy something in the market, I think it's a West
of
African
course,
thing.
there are
Hausa, to be
players.
more specific. You ask for, let's say if you buy a car or something, you say, "Madam, give me Jarana," then they'll give you extra for free.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you
Yeah.
are saying. If they want also Disasi, we can add one more player to it. One buy one get one free. Special sale. And they will be very good in Manchester United. I have to be honest with you. If you compare Disasi and Maguire, I mean, I will pick
Maguire.
Disasi. I'll pick Disasi at any time. So those players are available. But for Santos, I'm sorry. I don't think
No,
we
it's
are
not
willing.
gonna happen.
Yeah, and even if they were talking about Magui, I think they were going to stand a very big chance of getting him. But there are certain players, they are very untouchable, and I don't think we should pay this rumor so serious. Yep.
Yeah. You know, clubs do these things on papers. I think for me, if let me say, let's see things from Manchester United's perspective. I think they look at the number of players we have in that midfield area, and they've heard, probably must have heard, that Chelsea are looking to sell Enzo Fernandez, that he's one of the untouchables at the club. And now they feel like there's no way Andrey Santos he's going to be playing enough. There's no way he'd be getting enough minutes. And probably if they can promise him enough minutes at United, that he might want to join them. And irrespective of the length of the contract a player signed at Chelsea, the moment they're asked to leave, that changes everything. So they do these things on papers. You could call it them testing the waters to see if the player would be interested in joining them. But go ahead, what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean Manchester United, we all know any player Chelsea tries to sign, they will be already there. Like look at Ugarte situation. When we wanted Ugarte, Manchester United were already there. There are other few players they've tried their best to sign, but I don't think that is the best way to go. I mean, if you know perfectly that this boy is somebody we really want to keep here, and you are trying to sign him, I don't think. I don't know. We have to start investigating them, whether they are trying to even talk to him whilst we don't even have any idea. They are tapping on the boy. We could just report that because when they when they put a statement out there or when there is a rumor, obviously there is something cooking. So we can take the rumors serious, but I don't think anything will materialize. And I'm not expecting Santos to leave Chelsea anytime soon. That would be my opinion, to be honest with you, Coachy.
Yeah, I don't think he. As I've said, I'd be surprised if he leaves Chelsea before Enzo Fernandez. And I'm quite sure you've seen the news that Estevao has won. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Estevao won. Was it the player of the? Where's that particular report? The young player of the season or something like that. What's that called? I don't know if you've
By
seen it.
by FIFA or by
No, no,
UEFA
no, no,
or
no, no. London or something.
oh
Yeah, I think JEC. I think he were educated on what was it that Estevao he won.
well
I had it open and I talked about it again, actually. Uh,
yeah. In all fairness, whatever award he won, I think he deserved it. Right now, if you talk of the best young players in the world, you can never ignore Estevao. And there were a whole lot of argument as to whether he and Lami Yamal, who is the best player. And I still feel like Estevao is ahead of Yamal. I don't care about what people will say about Yamal, but I feel like Estevao is way, way, way ahead of Yamal. And whatever award he won is so good. I mean, he can build from there, and we have to see more of this in the near future. This is a boy I personally watched during the Club World Cup, the opener against Porto. I was at the stadium. I had a very close outlook of him, and he's very, 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 very good. Technically, the best player, very humble. And at the time, Palmeiras fans were in love with him. Everyone was like singing his name. They were so of high expectation from him, and I wasn't surprised they were able to go find that particular tournament. So I mean, he's doing really good job at Chelsea. Not every player will come to the Premier League in the first season and put up that kind of performance. If you look at him, he's not struggling a lot as compared to some of these young players out there. I remember Boyan Kekic. He was at Barcelona and he was killing. He was just cooking at the time, but he came to the Premier League at a point in time and he couldn't make any impact in the Premier League. So this is a very difficult league, one of the difficult leagues in the world. But so far, I don't think he's struggling a lot. And what he has done so far, I mean, he deserves it. And whatever award he won, I
Yeah.
just think that he deserves it.
Yeah, Jay, let's say Jay, thank you for finding the time to join us on the panel here. I do hope you are doing well. Jay, where do you want to come in?
Yeah, big up, coach.
Big up to you too, my bro.
Yeah, I think he won something at the London Football Awards. It's
Okay, the
Men's Young
that's
Player of the Year.
London Football Awards, LFA, I agree. So the
Yeah,
youngest player, right?
yeah, Young Player of the
Young
Year
player of the
gets the
season.
award.
Is it of the
Yeah,
season, right?
yeah, Young Player of the Season or the Year. I think it's
Or
the
the year.
same thing.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I looked at it, but it's something not that popular in my opinion.
I've
But
sent
it's
you
still
on
good.
in the
But go ahead.
DMs. Yeah, I'll send you the post or on DM so you can check it out about Estevao.
Okay, I'll check it.
Um, Obviously, he's a amazing prospect, and he has announced himself to the world for a while now. I think the Barcelona game was his introduction. Prior to that, the Chelsea fans were obviously aware of his qualities and his potential, and some of the Brazilians as well because they have seen him closely, rising from his junior levels and all. So the potential was always there. Chelsea fans were obviously aware of it. We have seen the scouting reports and the briefings and some kind of news about him from the very early stage we signed him. And a kid from South America with no real experience or exposure and going for a fee of about 40 million, rising up to something 60 odd million. So obviously there was going to be something big about this kid. But again, we have seen such exciting signings going in the south direction and getting failed, and the career just going nowhere.
Mhm.
So there has been those cases as well, but clearly he has shown examples and moments in the Premier League and the Champions League as well on the bigger occasions against the best clubs like Liverpool and Barcelona. So obviously he has proven it as well. Maybe not on that big scale. The the scale is still not that big much, but obviously he will get more opportunities in the coming season, and then he will grow with the amount of matches that he will get. And I'm pretty sure that he's going to be something really, really big, whether it's going to be at Chelsea or some other club. That's the real question, but I'm pretty sure that he is going to reach the levels that we expect from a global superstar. That is something that is pretty sure, and not only Chelsea fans, but I think around the globe, around Europe, this has been established, and he is in conversation with the likes of Desiree Doué, Mbappe, and your Lamine Yamal. So obviously, the hype is real.
Yeah. Well, do you want to say anything about the again the goalkeeper discussion?
Yeah, look, obviously we have talked and, we have kind of shared our messages in the group chat as well that about the whole goalkeeping situation, about the particular event that we saw against Aston Villa, and the general discussion about what's going to be the future at Chelsea of these two or three goalkeepers, or maybe some new signing as well. So yeah, I was particularly not impressed. Now, obviously, I trust Rosenior a lot because I think he's done really, really well in the limited matches that he's got. And I think with the results and the performances that he has given, I think the fans need to give him the trust for some of the tougher decisions and the decisions that are going to, look a bit awkward on the outside. But I am pretty sure that he knows his things and he know what he's doing. It's just that goalkeeping is one particular department which is very rare, where you change or rotate your player. especially when the stakes are high and when you're going to play a match like we played against Aston Villa, which is literally a top four fight between the two clubs who are in contention for that position. So the stakes were really high. The moment was really big, and in that moment, you are making such a big decision about a goalkeeper. Everyone was expecting an injury or something, but it was not. It was obviously something tactical or just a performance-based decision. Now it was obviously going to be, either it was looking like a master stroke or it will look like something really amateur decision from him. But thankfully that it was
I
the
think
uh,
some part of me feels like the main reason why he chose him um, to start between the sticks for us over Robert Sanchez was because he's better on the ball. You don't pressure him into errors just like you'd see if Sanchez is the one guarding the sticks for us. And before that game, when we compared the two teams, we learned that they're pretty good at pressing and they press better than we do. And you could argue the pressing, how they press, was the main reason why they were able to beat us in at home.
yeah.
So chances are it's just a temporary thing. Chances are we're still seeing that sort of situation where we have to look at the opposition, how they press, and to help us figure out who's going to stand between the sticks in the next game. But go ahead, what you were saying. That might be the case, really.
Well, yeah, obviously, I think no one really doubts his ability on the ball and how good he is in the build-up when we are building from the back as well. Rosenior wants his center back to play as an extra body in build-up and, more like a center back. He wants him to perform like a center back as well, which is Sanchez. We have seen that he struggles a lot, not only under Rosenior, but earlier under different managers as well. We have seen that he is not comfortable doing this part of his game. Uh, and the problem is, look, the main problem is that if Jorgensen was an obvious upgrade on Sanchez, no one would make a fuss about it. But the problem that we have in our goalkeeping department for a while now, I think this issue has been for years now that we are going to get parts and parcel of the game of some goalkeepers. One goalkeeper would be good in one department, the other would be in a complete other department, and we cannot really have one goalkeeper who is kind of doing really good in all those metrics and all those departments. Now Jorgensen is really good on the ball, but his shot stopping has been questionable in the past as well, and his aerial ability to catch the crosses and claim the crosses has also been under question for a while. He did good against Villa, but in the past there has been questionable performances by him also. Now that is where Sanchez comes in. He does
But did you hear
makes us
my
nervous.
in those occasions where you're referencing or that he didn't do well? Did you hear my argument or maybe my defense of him that it's just a confidence thing? Because yeah, he had to come in for an injured Robert Sanchez, but I don't. I think
This could
he's a good
coach
shot
this
stopper
could
really, and the
yeah
Conference
this
League is there to look at. But go ahead.
Yeah, this could very much be the case. It's a confidence thing. Maybe he will, build on it, and he can be an extraordinary goalkeeper who can, develop and improve the department in which he's lacking right now, or maybe is just a bit behind Sanchez. He can do that. Maybe it's just a confidence thing. But then again, the question is this the right moment in the season where we are in a very, very, critical condition of fighting for the Champions League? Is this the right moment for you to really experiment such things? Which is where I have my doubts, because I think these are the things that you develop at the start of the season or maybe in the preseason tournament, and not in the middle of the season. That is where you don't really want to take such big experiments, which he wants to do. Maybe we will know more about it in the coming matches. This Wrexham match will show us who's going to play that. There are people who think Sanchez is going to play this game, and then the bigger one, that is the PSG game. I think that will clear us a lot of questions of what is really going to happen in the remaining part of this season. Who's going to be that goalkeeper? Whether this was just one scenario where he wanted to, send a message to Sanchez that you need to perform, you cannot be comfortable, or whether this is something tactical and he has decided in his mind that yeah, I want that ability on the ball, and hence why I am going to, trust Jorgensen, and Sanchez is going to take the passenger seat for the rest of the season. So more of these questions would be answered, and I'll be very, very eager to look at the lineup before that PSG games, because that will answer a lot for me and for, I think, all of us.
Yeah, I think that PSG game would tell us a lot. If he starts, let's say, let's see what happens. Anyway, if Sanchez starts the cup game, then definitely we're gonna see what's his name. I think it'd be a strong argument if you hear anyone suggest that, yeah, it looks like Jorgensen is gonna start against PSG. Well, let's see what else do we have here. Tristan CFC Gem is here. My United fans, UN, Gatton, Andrey Santos. So forget about it. Okay, now I know the reason why the AI deleted your messages. You used all caps there. Leave our players alone. We love them and want them to stay at Chelsea for a long period of time. I think Sanchez stays. And if anything, I can see Enzo Fernandez leaving before him. We need to punish Wrexham and then go to Paris on Wednesday and remind Luis Enrique that Chelsea owns them. That win in the United States wasn't luck. Here's the thing, something I want to say quickly, Jay. I think it's important we talk about that. And reading this bro's comment here, I think let's just speak about that game. This is not the preview for that game. The fact that they are making excuses, because you cannot tell me that they're not making excuses if they are either indirectly or directly saying that we were able to beat them like we did on that day because they were tired. It just doesn't make sense. And for them going to the measure of getting their league management authority or whatever you want to call them to postpone a game for them to give them time enough to prepare for Chelsea or to rest. So to have what you could say good enough time to rest and all that. I think there's an added pressure there for them. Whether they see it as revenge or not, there's an added pressure on their end. Let me hear you, Jay. What do you think?
Yeah, look, you have to be pretty much blind to, believe that there is not that revenge thing. I think it's pretty much there. It's very much visible, and we can all feel it. It goes back to that game in the United States. The reaction after the final whistle of Enrique and the players. We have never seen Enrique being that wild and hitting the opponent player and being all physical. I've never seen that side of his game, and that was an example, or one of those occasions which tells me that it hurt them, and it's going to hurt them for sure when you're that much dominant in a season. PSG has done something incredible the last season. I think it was something similar to what Barcelona and Madrid had done by winning almost all the trophies that they were in, and Chelsea was the one who spoiled the party, who made sure that they cannot have 100 out of 100 or 100% record throughout the season. And I think that pretty much did do a little damage to their egos. I think the players, and especially the manager, is totally uh, in accordance that they want to remind the world again by beating us that, yeah, that was a fluke, or that was something that they were not serious about. But I think you can't say that they are not, waiting for this match, or haven't really waited for this match. They postponed the game by requesting the league that they want to play Chelsea. So it's clear
Mhm.
that this match is the game of the season for them, for sure, 100%. They are eager to play us, and put out a message out there that, yeah, uh, what happened at the USA was something just a fluke, or not something which Chelsea can do to us on a regular occasion. So yeah, that doubt is clear for me that they do want a revenge, and they are taking this game as a match of the season for them. For us, I think it will be just another game. I think the players are
Even
pretty
though
much
we'll take it
confident, and
seriously, but we're not as again, we're not under as much pressure as they are on. to beat us.
No, we have nothing to prove really.
Mhm.
On the matchup, we don't have much to prove. For us, it's a match where we need to qualify for the next stage of the UCL. I think the players are confident because they have done the thing against PSG at the Club World Cup final, and the manager, as you have mentioned a couple of times, has his own history against this PSG side when he was with Strasbourg. So I don't see a reason or a condition where our players or the manager really are feeling the anger or something to prove against this PSG team, which I think will favor us, and that in turn puts a bit more pressure and expectation on PSG rather than for us. And I think most of the Chelsea fans are really confident about this game, despite PSG being one of the best teams in Europe.
But they've
So
actually
yeah,
struggled
that's
this season.
They have definitely struggled. I think even Newcastle gave them a great outing, and they have struggled against them. Even the Monaco team, I think they struggled really, really hard against them. It was red card in both the legs that helped them to really, qualify for the next round. Otherwise, they were really struggling in those games as well, which is a clear indication that they are not the team. They have been thrown out of the cut of the Coupe de France. I think the cup competition of France as well. So yeah, the struggles are there for them. I think it might be due to the fatigue thing, and it can also be that the world is now more aware of Enrique and PSG's tactics, which is obviously going to happen when you are, reaching the levels that they reached the last season. It was always going to be a decline because you cannot surpass what they achieved last season. So yeah, that also adds to the fact that Chelsea might be much more confident in this match. One team is confident, the other team is just, having a feeling of revenge. And I don't need
Yeah.
to tell you how this is going to end.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, that's it, coach.
All right. Vance, you have anything to add to that?
Well, in terms of the PSG game, I've said this and I'm going to reiterate it again. When it comes to Chelsea this season, the more you expect them to perform, sometimes they bottle it, and I'm a bit, scared about that aspect. As for going to Paris to win, it's possible. They have to have belief in themselves and tell themselves that hey, we can do it. I remember when all odds were against us and people thought that we were going to like lose miserably to PSG. We turned things around and were able to like beat PSG handsomely. And I feel like they can do it this time around. I don't want us to be ahead of PSG in terms of who is going to win. I still want us to be the underdogs. I want the media to piss the players off. I just want them to see them as the underdogs so that when we go out there, there wouldn't be a lot of pressure. I've said this and I'm going to say it again. Obviously, we might end up playing 1-1. I prefer we getting an away goal, and when they come to Stamford Bridge, we can just finish, the game out there. And it's also depending on the players who are going to miss this particular encounter. If we have the likes of Dembele and some few other players on the injury list, I think it's going to help us a lot. But I don't know if they can recover quickly to join the team when they come to London. But looking at it right now, this PSG team are doing everything possible to make sure that they beat Chelsea. And I said this yesterday that obviously the video analysts and Enrique and the boys are watching every bit of Chelsea, clips, including our game against Aston Villa. That is going to make it more difficult. So Rosenior has to adapt a strategy different from what has happened this week, and also the game against them in how do we call it in New Jersey, and also they have to tweak the formation a little bit, come with something different that will confuse them because they might think that hey, this is how they're going to play on the day, so let's find a strategy to stop them. But if you go out there and they find out that the formation is totally different and whatever you are bringing on board is totally different from what they would have thought, then in a way it will be very easy for you to, you know, get something from them. But if they monitor us and do a whole lot of things to make sure that they want to get the 3 points and humiliate us, that is a bit scary. And I'm telling you, they are watching every bit. They will find a way to stop Joao Pedro. So in this instance, if they want to stop Joao Pedro, assign Estevao or someone to cause the damage, because they might think that, hey, Joao Pedro is someone who is, scoring a lot of goals lately. So if we are able to stop Joao Pedro and Palmer, Chelsea is not going to, make an effective day. So you assign somebody who is really like unknown, or somebody they least expect, for that person to cause the damage. So I believe that game is going to be very interesting. But I don't know the kind of Chelsea that will show up on the day. That makes it more scary, because if it's the Chelsea that played against Burnley in Paris, then we are going to be submerged. Like, they are going to wallop us in a way. And if it's Chelsea that played with Aston Villa, I feel like here that Chelsea look good. So on the day, we stand a chance of getting something from Paris. I don't want a situation where we'll go to Paris and come back home with 3 goals deficit. It will be very difficult for you to like recover from that damage. That is why we have to be very careful. If they open up the game and we can cause that damage, we have to do it. But we also have to be very cautious, not conceding too much, because what happens is it is so ridiculous that a second league game will be over from the first leg. Because if you are 3 goals down, how are you going to do that? I think something of that nature happened against Napoli or PSG back in the days. And I don't know if these boys, if they get into that situation, they have the courage, they have the mentality, and they have all it takes to recover from that damage. That is why I feel like if they are going to Paris, they should do a lot of things. We have to strategize, go out there, and get a very good results. And at the end of the day, if we manage to climb this hurdle, it's not going to be over. We still have to meet the likes of Real Madrid, City, Bayern Munich. And I think when we get there, there will be a way for us to cross to the final. And so I think everything looks good, especially winning against Aston Villa, entering into that game. And the Wrexham game, we should take it slowly. It's a team I know for sure we can beat them. If it's possible, they can use the B side to play with Wrexham. That is fair. We shouldn't rush any first team player who will be playing in Paris in that particular game. Let them work out on the training grounds, and at the end of the day, I think we can, get something in that particular game. And I will make something in connection with Tottenham. Yeah, Coachy, I told you yesterday that Tottenham is going down, 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 down the drain. And it's so funny that today they lost again. Listen, the statement made by the coach makes me believe that he is coming to take them to relegation, because when you are in a situation like that and you come out with something like that, it looks very, ridiculous. And looking at them right now, if they were unable to beat Crystal Palace, that looks very scary, because most of the teams that they are going to play with, I think they are playing with Nottingham Forest in the next league fixtures. And Nottingham Forest is also trying to avoid relegation. So how are you going to beat Nottingham Forest, a team that is so compact, a team that is so good? It looks very, very bad. And I want to say that even Kudus might not be able to save them at this point. If you look at all the games that is left for them to tackle, it's going to be very hard for them to survive this unless something extraordinary, happens. That comes to show that at least even when Levy was there, he was controlling the team in a very good way. Since he left, things are even looking so bad, and for the first time in a very long time, they might end up in championship, which will be very, very, very devastating at this point because they've brought the club into a level where they really need to stay here and not just stay here, qualify to the Champions League. You don't want to tell me that Kudos will stay with you if you're unable to qualify to the Champions League. And before Kudus even joined West Ham and Tottenham, I was one of those people who encourage him on social media not to even, join those mediocre, clubs because he was coming from Ajax. Ajax is not a bad team. He was playing the Champions League day in and day out. So for you to downgrade yourself to West Ham, it was a bit, ridiculous. And now he's at Tottenham. It's most likely they might get relegated. And if they get relegated, I don't think Kudus
He
is
joined
willing.
he joined Tottenham from West Ham.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think if they go to relegation, he's willing to stay in championship. Obviously, most of the top players might, go to other teams
That is if they
because
have that clause.
yeah, I don't know the clause, but sometimes people can just force their way out of a contract, and it's going to be a mutual thing. So they should do something as it stands right now because if you look at their fixtures, I guess it's even more difficult than their competitors. So when it gets to that kind of situation, you need guys with tough mentality. You need guys with a lot of focus. And
Oh,
if you don't have that in that team, which I don't see at this point, is going to be very difficult for them to survive this. And I hope, as I told you, Coachy, me, I'll be very, 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 happy with their time in the championship. And also, I see that Simons is struggling, and this is a player we nearly went for him. So I don't think his performance would have been the same thing if he had joined Chelsea because I know for sure that a lot of the Chelsea supporters were mad when we didn't go in for this young man. And if he had joined Chelsea, I don't know the kind of player he was going to like come out and express. Like I see that maybe we made a very good decision for not buying Simons, whether he was overhyped by the fans or maybe he's not up to that level. Because if he's in Tottenham right now, I don't really care about who you are playing with or the players that are surrounding your performance. You have to make the difference. And so far, I'm a bit disappointed. He hasn't been that player who is making those changes, and I feel like when we chose not to buy him, it was a perfect decision, and probably I don't regret that we didn't go in for him. Maybe he would have come here and become a better player and a different player. But as it stands right now, whatever he's exhibiting in Tottenham Hotspurs is something I really don't think it looks good. And I believe a whole lot of things are going to happen. And we are not going to see who is going to go to relegation. I told you it's going to happen on the final day because if you look at the points right now, it is so close. They are so close to each other. So we might not be able to see those teams that will be relegated. And we are also not going to see who is going to win the league until the final day. Arsenal, I think that they have like, I think 7 points lead. So everything is okay. Things can escalate so quickly and they might drop like 3 games or 9 points in a very shorter time because they still have to play City. They still have to play some difficult games, and they still have to play some of this, dark horses in the league. Those teams, you don't know when they are coming, but they can surprise you at any given time. That is what is happening right now, and I feel like they might win, but they have to work so hard, or probably Man City can also, you know, come up with something and they could also win. So as it stands right now, we are not going to see any winner until the final day, and this is how I feel so far, Kochi.
All right, let's look at the games that they still have to play. The rest of their fixtures. Let's look at them. I think that will tell us a lot. I'm going to say this. They're still safe right now because yeah, they are above the relegation zone. But yeah, the it's just 1 point. So West Ham could win and they're dropping up the point again. And Nottingham Forest, I think they still survive. Listen, it's tight down there. I still think they will survive, but I think they need to fire this man immediately. I'm not joking. Can you imagine you came in as a manager and the fans did not experience anything close to new manager bounce, which irrespective of how bad a team has been playing, the moment there's a switch, there's a change in this managerial change, the next game they play, you see them play a lot better than they played in a while. If anything, they've looked even more clueless, which I don't blame the manager for. And as I've explained before, the drastic shift in style from Angie, who's an offensive, extremely offensive minded manager that doesn't even know how to be pragmatic, except if it's in a final. Like Dante told us that definitely he's going to win that cup final because he's seen them before. He does know how to be pragmatic in the final. The switch from him to what's that? The other man that overly pragmatic, he's overly defensive. That was a huge risk in the first place. They could have just let him continue. The man that Igor took over from. But right now they need to fire Igor. And I'm serious. But that's just my opinion anyway. Let them do what they want. If they don't fire him, they might actually end up getting relegated.
The
So
point
let's
is,
look at Tottenham and see the rest of their games for the season. We need to find the game they played a few hours ago. Click through it. This one, yep. Let's see if I can click on their badge independently to get to their home. But before I do that, I'm going to catch up with a few of what we have in the chat here. And CFC Gamer 2300, I appreciate all your contributions in the chat there. I cannot thank you enough. He says, I think we will have too much for PSG. I think Chelsea will win 2-1 in the first leg and 3-1 in the second leg. It's very possible. Rosenior was able to beat him with an inferior squad to Chelsea's. Yeah, beat him and could have beaten him a second time. I think he wasn't pragmatic enough on the day, and PSG ended up winning. One of them was a draw, so he beat him one time, lost to him one time, and drew one. I think okay, that's Modman responding to you. Both of you are having a conversation. He said, "Why we are a serious team as well, ready for war up the Chelsea." I like that confidence there. And my bro, CFC Eugene is in the house. Eugene, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. And I said again, I hope your absence simply means that yeah, you've been busy. And if that's the case, we're happy for you because we understand bills don't pay themselves. And we have here CFC Gamma says in the summer they tried to mock Palmer and Joao Pedro, but a new kid is on the block that can cause a serious damage, and his name is Estevao Magical Willian. I always call him William. Hopefully he's fully fit because Rosenior doesn't look like the sort of manager. If a player isn't fully fit, he plays him. Is Rosenior put Lavia in the midfield for PSG's game and allowed James to overlap and find Joao Pedro with those passes into the box. I'm going to say this. We might actually see the same 11 that played against Aston Villa with the exception of Garnacho. I think he would want to have Pedro Neto on the pitch on the day because of his selflessness in terms of concentrate on making sure PSG, their overlapping fullbacks don't get, you can say, get the best out of us. More likes, people, according to my bro type. More likes, people. Yes, people, let's get the likes up. We still have 45 people following the show. 26, okay, you can say pretty much about half of that. But we can do a lot better than 26 likes. We finished with 61 likes yesterday. We haven't actually measured 100 likes in a while. I think we can do that, even though we had 150 plus people following the show yesterday. We didn't clock 100 likes. Let's try and make it happen today. Bro, honestly, I cannot see PSG knocking us out. Sorry, but I think we have too much firepower for them. Then you can say they are doing all the things they're doing in the French league because they don't not too many teams are strong enough to actually compete with them. Spurs will have to play Chelsea, Liverpool, and Forest, so it's looking tight for them, but they still have a chance. Arsenal deserve the title. I don't look. You're entitled to your opinion. I don't think they deserve it. I think there are, you can say the PGMOL, they're actually doing everything they can. They're aiding them to the title. And as I've said yesterday and the day before, that it seems as if the rules are adapting to the way Arsenal plays. Because they're getting away with a lot. Honestly, if we're going by how well they played last season, the season before, then I'd say yeah. But this season, it the cheating for me is the aspect that concerns me. I think it tarnishes the reputation of the league to some extent. I don't care whether they get goals from corners or whether their strikers score with their butt, but what I don't like is the aspect that they commit. You see them committing blatant fouls, and the ref and the refs and what's it called, the guys in the room for the VAR. They okay it, and they've been doing it. They're getting away with a lot of stuff, and the receipts are out there for people to see. I don't care how badly they play, how dirty they play, but to the extent of committing a foul and the PGMOL not doing anything about it, VAR not doing anything about it, and actually, in fact, adapting to the way Arsenal want to play. That's where I'm concerned. But I wouldn't say if they win it that they deserve to win it, but that's my opinion anyway. But Eugene says that Arsenal deserve the title. The thing they are getting our attention so much means they are really doing well. But for UEFA Champions League, we will see. I don't think they are favorites, but it gets dangerous because they've been doing well in the Champions League. Do I think they can win it? I think they can. I really think they can. And the Premier League, I think they can too, because it looks like City, it looks like they've given up. Yeah, they're clueless. It looks like Pep has lost his magical touch. Something isn't quite right with him, really. We need Reece James for that. Rotation in the middle seems like Caicedo cannot do the job in the games. Reece James makes a huge difference. And Tebe, big up to you, Tebe, for finding time to join the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. Let's get the likes up, people. The likes do go a long way. And once again, we still do beg for likes. The likes, because we're not a big account yet, but we're getting closer and closer to that number. We're currently at 29,355 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer to 30K subscribers. Yes, Tabejo out. I support that. Good morning to you too. I know it's morning to for you there. What else do we have? Arsenal are playing Highland football. They're allowed, but the aspect where, okay, bro, thank you so much for finding the time to join. I appreciate that. The aspect where they blatantly cheat and are not even concerned that they're gonna get caught, it worries me, because people are gonna ask questions, a lot of questions. People are already asking questions. Rival, not just Man City fans, every fan base. You can say majority of the fans that support the Premier League are asking questions with regards to how Arsenal are able to get away with some of the stuff they do on the pitch. But that's by the way. We wanted to look at Tottenham's the rest of their schedule. Let's see the opponents they have to play. So we're gonna have to go. Ooh, dang it! My eyes hurt. Red. They lost to Manchester United, lost to Newcastle United, lost to Arsenal 4-1, lost
Too
to
bad.
Fulham by 2 goals to 1, and then today lost to Crystal Palace by 3 goals to 1. And they've averaged okay, 3 here, 2 here. Wow, 2 point something goals concession per game.
They
So
haven't
that
won a
can
game
actually
since
help us
I
predict
think
whether
December
they got.
something.
Sorry?
They haven't won a game since December, so it tells you.
Yeah, but I'm just looking at their last 5 games. They're averaging 2 point something goals concession per game. That can actually, if I have time, that will help me predict most likely whether they are likely going down or not. But that changes once Romero returns, serves his suspension, Kudus comes back, and some of their best players come back. I think that's going to make a huge difference for them. But my goodness, the red here, it hurts my eyes. Okay, 11 games without a win is diabolical.
Mhm.
I agree. So let's look at it really. Jesus Christ.
I just want to see the last 8 or 9 games they are supposed to play, like
Yeah,
the upcoming six.
I'm looking at their fixtures here, but it's showing me okay, there you go. Maybe we'll see a lot more here. And that's the Premier League too. Okay. Okay. They've been doing well in Europe. They beat Frankfurt away 2 goals to nothing. Beat
Yeah,
Dortmund at home 2 goals to
this
nothing.
this tells you this tells you that the Premier League is very difficult.
It's a different ball game. So let's look at their games. And here's the thing: I think it's important to also take into consideration the fact they have Champions League commitment, which stretches the squad. And if you see, and they're playing on Tuesday on the 10th, which is how many days from
Nah,
now? 5 days from now, they'll be playing at Atletico Madrid. So the fact the manager had to leave some players on the bench, probably most likely because of the Champions League commitment. But I'd say I'd rather survive relegation than get relegated and still be in the Champions League. It just doesn't make any sort of sense.
Coachy, it doesn't look good at all.
They
Like
don't.
the
Yeah,
fixtures.
they won't look. Okay, let's look at the teams they're going to play.
Mm,
It's important to take into account the Champions League games, and the truth remains that probably what we're seeing today justifies, you can say, my thinking that they are prioritizing the Champions League over the Premier League, given the players they left on the bench. So they're going to be playing their best players on the days that they have Champions League football. And they're going to play at Atletico Madrid on the 10th, and then 5 days later, they play Liverpool. If Liverpool don't win this one and they end up not firing on a slot, they deserve to be bottom table too. So after Liverpool, they play Atletico Madrid again. And Atletico Madrid, they play high octane football. And they're going to play their best players on that day. And then that's on the 18th. And then 4 days later, they'll be at home against Nottingham Forest. Not an easy game.
Nope.
So I'm starting to agree that they're gonna get relegated.
Sunderland, huh.
Jesus Christ.
Brighton.
Sunderland, not an easy side. Then Brighton
Mm.
will tear them open.
Hey.
And then
Tottenham for
Wolves,
relegation.
in the last few games, they look like the one. They look like miraculously you could see them survive relegation. It's still possible,
They don't have a
mathematically
chance, Coachy.
at least. But look at the teams they've beaten. So it looks like it's gonna happen.
Yep.
Jesus Christ! And for
The-
them to have a chance, they really need to fire Igor. Because
As
he
it
looks
stands right now,
clueless.
as it stands right now, if they should survive, that means something extraordinary or some miracle need to happen, because all the teams that they are trying to win against, they are also trying to avoid relegation because of the way the points are so close to each other. Nottingham Forest are trying to avoid relegation, and Brighton, they are also not in a very good position like that. Let's not forget we have about 12 games to go or something like that. So a lot of teams don't want to, drop any points at this time. So looking at the way things are going, if something doesn't happen, I'm sorry. Probably they need to go look for Sam Allardyce, because he's somebody he always try to go for relegation, survival. So he might be the best person to. At least they should have appointed an interim coach, somebody who knows the English game very
I think
well.
it was a mistake firing.
Yeah,
What's the one that took over from Andrey
Udo,
Postecoglou?
yeah, Igor, whatever the name is.
Uh, um, Jesus Christ, how could I not? I'm not able to remember his name. He took over from Andrey Postecoglou. Chelsea also did speak with them when we were looking to hire manager. I think they would have been better off letting him continue. Even Angie was a mistake. And okay, even if you decide to fire Angie, the drastic shift from an attacking manager to a very, very defensive, pragmatic manager, it just doesn't make sense. You don't make such mistakes in
That,
football.
I think Thomas Frank's situation is something that collapsed the whole, the effort, because under Angie, I think these guys were not that bad, and I don't know why the Tottenham supporters were so angry with him and his final days. Although he was losing a lot of games, they should have like they could have given him another opportunity, one more season, and see how the team is going to look like. But they asked him to go, and Thomas Frank also came in. He didn't start well, and it's not ending so well. A lot of people are so disappointed with Thomas Frank because there were a whole lot of expectations, and when he got there, I mean, things are not going the right way. And you can also argue that probably it's because of the Champions League that distracted them a little bit, and they find themselves right now in this position. Because if we're a smaller side like that, trying to play in the Champions League, even your squad situation and so many things can affect you. It's either you concentrate on the EPL and forget about the Champions League, or you have to also stay in the Champions League and forget about the EPL. So, as it stands right now, they are in a very difficult situation. They still have to play their Champions League games, they have to play the EPL. And if you look at the fixtures that are coming up, it's going to be very, very, very difficult for them to, get out there and survive the whole, relegation situation. It looks very bleak for them, and I can tell you that I suspect them, Burnley, and Wolves. Right now, Wolves are unstoppable. If Wolves are able to win all their games right now, it's most likely they are going to survive. But as it stands right now,
But
if you
it's
ask me,
difficult.
say that again, Kochi.
It's difficult.
Yeah, Wolves.
I don't see how. I mean, they've
They can.
been, you could say,
Hey, Kochi.
performing
If
very
they've been
well.
able to get a
But
result
yeah,
from,
winning the rest of their games, so that's
it's
another ask.
possible.
Go ahead.
It's possible that they can win the rest of their, their games. But if they are unable to win those games, that means it will be Burnley, Tottenham, and Wolves. I can make that prediction right now. Burnley, Tottenham, and Wolves. And the top four will most likely be Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Manchester United.
Yeah.
Can also
All
make
right.
that
I have my
prediction right now.
bro Julius Amor in the chat. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. It's still 9:36 p.m. CST for me, and I don't know if I've said Happy New Year to you. If I haven't, it's still New Year. Yep, it's still first quarter. Is it first quarter? Yeah, first quarter of the year. So Happy New Year to you, my bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join us. Let's see. A big, yep, everybody's saying hello to him. A nice guy. If they lose to Forest, they are going down. Jesus, but how did he get that dangerous for them? Thomas Frank, that was the name I was looking for. Again, it was a mistake letting him go. Yeah, but it is they've made that mistake, and it's their cup of tea, and I don't want a sip of it. Xavi Simons relegated will be there. He didn't reject us. Show him some love. The kid did not reject us. We just you can say we had some financial restrictions, I think, from imposed on us by UEFA that we had to navigate at the time. We had to be sure we'd be able to sign him and register him. I think that was one of the main reasons why we didn't get the deal across the line. And it probably given Spurs, irrespective of whether you think they are a big club or not, the size of the club, probably, I believe, would mean that a lot of the players they sign not going to have some sort of relegation clause, and huge problem for the players themselves. Tevejo is fighting with Mod Mana. I like that. I think
Tobago, the
I
Maresca's
think Tevejo said something, and Mod Mana chose to respond.
Maresca's secret spy. You know, we have to send Tobago with Maresca. You know,
Tevejo, I'm going to respond. I'm going to respond. Get this. On behalf of Mod Mana. Oh, not that. I'm looking for the middle finger that I used by mistake yesterday. I can't find it.
Tobago
But
declare war.
that's it.
Tobago declare war on everyone. He said this
Sorry?
year is going to be war. Like he said, this year is going to be war because Maresca is no more here. So, oh, Tobago. How is Maresca doing, by the way, Tobago?
Sorry?
No, I'm asking Tobago. He can type in on the comment section. I
Oh,
said, how is
Tavell, you heard. He's
Maresca
asking
doing?
you a question.
Has he got some new job? Is he going to Real Madrid or what? Tobago.
No, Tavell, I love Maresca too. We all love him. But Tavell is more like he's in the Maresca cult. I respect him. I think he's a good tactician, but he did something that I don't like. And when
He
somebody
messed
does
up.
that sort of thing, usually it's difficult for me to forgive the person. But he's not my brother, not my we're not related in any way, but I forgive him. So let's go. So Tottenham, it's not looking good for them. Except if they Jesus Christ, those players they have to start, you can say, go they need supernatural energy to be able to go through this congested fixture. Jesus,
They are going
no,
to lose so many players. To be
it's
honest,
looking bad.
if they end up in relegation, I know they will lose the Brazilian kid. What is his name? Richardson. They are going to lose Kudus. They are going to
Here's where the
lose.
issue is with those guys. If you don't have an exit, it'd be accurate to call it exit clause. Like if you get relegated, I'm gone. And I'm suspecting that given the size of Tottenham, well, irrespective of whether you think they are a big club or not, those players most likely didn't have such clauses on the
Coaching.
contracts they signed.
Trust me.
Yeah, exactly.
Some,
So if they get relegated, you're going down with them if you don't have
but
such
trust me,
clause.
as you
Yeah.
are saying that,
Otherwise, you
most
get in trouble.
most players might also have that clause. They might have it that if you are no more in the EPL, I would have to join a different club.
Let's just say, for instance, let's just say if, for instance, you're joining Real Madrid. I'm not saying they are as big as Real Madrid, but Madrid, the biggest club in Spain. I don't think your prior you be able you be concerned about them getting relegated and you going down with them. I don't think so.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Let's see what happens.
but except if you have you can say um a proactive agent, or you surround yourself with intelligent people who say you never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, but let's see what happens anyway. I still think
So
they
how,
might
how are they
survive
going
it,
to
but they
manage?
need to change something now. they need to start benching, leaving their best players on the bench because they want them to be fit enough to play in the Champions League. What happens if you make it to start, just say go beyond the round of 16 to the quarterfinals, but ends up getting relegated? You're in trouble. If they get relegated, let's save Xavi Simons, and he should come. And I think he will come because probably we didn't just forfeit again our pursuit, our interest in his signature at the time. We just had to. We had some financial restrictions that didn't. You can say that meant we couldn't afford him at the time for one reason or the other. But big up to you too. He says Garnacho has been better than Xavi Simons this season. He answered the relegation call from. I like that one. He answered the relegation call from Tom. Man, they called, he answered. So that I like that one really. That's a good joke. That's a And here's the kid. He didn't shut up after joining them. I think at the time, I think we lost the game or so, or we didn't do well or something like that. Then he used a picture of himself where he had his hand raised, and he said something to the effect of "Raise your hands if you're having a good weekend." Practically, you can say having a dig at Chelsea. Yeah, so I like that one really. Yeah, Taveo, yeah, people go check out Taveo's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him get to 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He deserves that. I think you should trigger that. Have you not triggered it? Okay, there you go. Yeah, people go and subscribe to Tabejo's YouTube channel. The link is there. Be sure to let him know I sent you. Better in what way? Julius Rogue Canacho is. I'm not reading that one. Why would you get Xavi Simons when he has so many bigger problems? It's not worth it. We dodged your bullet. Can you Ishi or can you elaborate? If you say he has problems, can you say? I think he's a good player. I think he's a good player. Yeah, it's just he's found himself in a very we could say not conducive situation for him. But I think he's a good player, really. Cole Palmer needs help. I don't like Enzo Fernandez playing 10. We don't have any traditional 10, actually. And I've said this 1,000 times, which was why before the summer transfer window, when a lot of people were saying that we need to sign one CV, 10 CVs, or the other CV, and I think I was arguing at the time, we didn't need to sign a traditional 10 because all the people we have that fulfill the number 10 role for us are all like wingers that are capable of playing in the fulfilling the number 10 role. So we do need to get players that are traditionally 10s. I think that will make it. And 10s that are capable of playing again on the flanks. I think that make a whole lot of difference for us. All right, let's see. All right. Modmana will respond. You bet. I told you. Ty says, I love you. Okay. You better put disclaimer there, Ty. I told you Modmana will respond. Yeah. Read it again. I said we have much bigger problems. Okay, there you go. Sorry, we need to make all the signings not Xavi. We can if we're able to. It doesn't have to be Xavi, but I get your point, bro. So I apologize for not reading what you had your comment correctly. I think I agree. We were better off going for. I think we just need let's not overdo it. We need one more, maybe, or two CBs actually. Then on the left hand side, I think we might end up signing one more winger for the left hand side. I think we'll be all right. We're not actually far away from contending for the title. And Tabejo is right. We need We need CB. We need a CB, maybe CBs, as he said. You could argue if you take a step back and look at sorry, I want to look at this. I want to note down something. Um, Participation number. I'm checking how many people we have at the center at any particular time to know to correctly time the start and ending of the show. Okay. But if you're following the show, please, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you go back and look at all the games we've lost since the start of the season, you'd see that we lost those games due to poor defense. Yeah, if we had a better defensive line, chances are we'd be topping the table right now. Who's to say we cannot? Yeah. If Forest get relegated, I want Murillo. I like him. I like Murillo.
Oh
I like
yeah,
him a lot.
he's somebody I wouldn't
He
mind.
says you will not drag me to that. he's he's going alone, right? Road to 30K. We're getting there. We're getting there. So let's go. This year is people. Tabera, I want to get your thoughts. I want to get your thoughts on this kid Yassine. Is it how you pronounce it? Some Kenyan revolutionary was in the chat. He was fighting everybody, saying that the kid is better than all our wingers. He except for Estevao and who did he mention again? And Palmer maybe. But this reads, this is Raz talking about his profile. Interior with subpar pace and power to beat fullbacks and not enough passing back to be a main creator. So already we don't need that sort of player right now. Also doesn't score enough. So a solid role player at best. Cannot see him making it in the big team profiles, and builds like his either have to be extraordinary dribblers or scorers. Okay, I'm actually confused by reading that right now. So I'm gonna go back to where we were news hunting. Give me a second here. Where was it? Here. We were news hunting here. Cesc Fabregas said something that I know Arsenal fans are not gonna like. But more likes, people, more likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. And if you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Omoto Kebelo. That sounds like a Nigerian name there. Estevao will win it. Hopefully he's fully fit to start on the day. Because it looks like Rosenior is a sort of manager. If you're not fully fit, you're not going to start. Ishi says, yes, I don't believe we're far we're far either, yeah, from contending for the title, but we need to be focused as a fan base. Adding useless guys like Siemens would just slow us down. I think I agree, but yeah, let's just move on from him anyway. And sign, you can say, be strategic with our signings in the summer. Sign players that we really need and not for the sake of it. Yes, if we had a better defense, we would be challenging for the title. If I'd go to the extent of saying would be topping the table right now. Because if you go look at how many games not Aston Villa, how many games they've lost and how many we've lost and how many they've won, and then take a step back and remember how many points we've dropped from a winning position. Yeah, it will give you, you will get angry. He's a top talent, but it's still too soon. Okay, thank you for that contribution. I wanted to hear from you. So this year, Arsenal fans, they're not going to like this from Cesc Fabregas. There goes my dirty mind again. Crying after my last game for Chelsea was something I couldn't control. It was a very emotional moment. Despite joining from a rival club, the fans showed me love beyond imagination. I was so loved at Chelsea that I started wishing I had started my career there. Chelsea gave me what was difficult for me to get at Arsenal. That's definitely a dig at Arsenal. I would say. But yeah, um, I like him, and he's intelligent player. If we had competition in the wide attackers too, that's a mainly defensive area. We've been able to create a lot of chances. We had one of the best. We have one of the best XGs in terms of we're compared to other teams in the league. And our goals return and bad either. It isn't bad either if you look at it. I think if we have two solid CBs and maybe another good winger, we will challenge for the title. I'm just sticking with CBs. If we had better defensive line, we, chances I would be top in the table right now. Yeah. Fabregas, why such a dig trying to dig a grave? Yeah, I like that. That rhymes. I like rhymes a lot. I like that tie. Arsenal fans, I don't know. They haven't cooked him. I was expecting them to cook him. Just like yeah, some Chelsea fans. No, Chelsea fans aren't cooking Mikel. Chelsea fans, the Arsenal fans are the ones cooking Mikel because of what he said about Arsenal. But they didn't say anything when one of you could say their most successful managers said something about the way they play. So look at the teams Spurs are fighting with: Leeds, Spurs, Forest, and West Ham. One of them will be relegated along with Burnley and Wolves. Based on current form, Spurs are the worst of the four. That's the biggest problem. This is Vince's opinion, I'm guessing. Yep, that's the biggest problem. The other three are picking up form, and this is accurate, actually, by the way. While Spurs are getting worse, it won't end well for them. And here's the thing: the most dangerous thing in football, as much as winning is a habit, can become a habit, losing can also become a habit, and it is more so for losing. Yeah, you can say it goes both the same for winning also. But the more you lose games, the more it is easy to lose the next one. And I think it'd be accurate to say that's especially the case if you hire the new manager and still your fans did not experience anything close to or anything that say that they look at and say, yeah, that's definitely new manager bounce here. Nothing like that for Tottenham. They scored first today. But even at that, I knew that they were still going to lose that game. The only thing that will make huge difference for them, the return of the Argentine Romero, or maybe Kudus becomes fit all of a sudden, then that will save them. But it's not looking good, really. Chelsea fans want Romero. Jesus Christ, he's wasting his good abilities by getting red cards for fun. How old is he? If he's still, you could say, getting red carded here and there easily, if at this age right now, I don't know when that's something that can stop. Really. All right, let's see if there's anything else we need to talk about here. Is this news? No, Chelsea have been impressed with Joao Pedro, of course. Why wouldn't they? Michael Richards on Joao Pedro, he was sensational because he's not an out and out number 9 or number 10. He can do both. It makes it difficult for defenders to defend him. Everything he does is excellent. He was so confident he tried a bicycle kick. A bicycle kick. All right, let's see. Mickey Van der Van. What was that? That's what I'm saying. Once things started going the wrong direction for you like that in terms of losses, it gets worse because it becomes a mental thing. Yeah, it becomes a mental thing. It becomes a difficult problem to solve. It's just if you remember when we were again in a bad run of form, we'll be winning games 2-0 and still end up losing that game. The least we usually get from games draws at the time. You see us towards the end of games, we start playing like, yeah, we we don't have professional footballers on the pitch. That's because at the time, at a certain point, once a certain thing keeps repeating, it becomes a habit, a mental thing, which and then more difficult to solve. I think they are at that stage right now, at the stage where it is more. It has become more difficult to solve. It is a confidence thing. It's a mental thing, and it plays into their head. All right. The kind of bounce because the bounce out is the bounce out of the Premier League. I don't want them to go. And once again, I'm gonna say what Uncle Jester said on X. We with them in the Premier League, we have guaranteed 6 points. Without them, where are we gonna get that? So we need them to stay. I don't want them. I get it. The rivalry will still exist, but probably well,
Coachy,
clearly
don't worry.
everybody will know that we're better
We'll
than
still get
them
them in
because
the
yeah,
FA
we're
Cup, and
fighting for top five and they're getting relegated. Go ahead, Bans.
I said, don't worry, we'll still get them in the FA Cup and EFL. So at least if you don't get the 6 points in the EPL, you still stand a chance of getting them in the in the FA Cup. So let them go enjoy life in Championship. With Tottenham, oh yeah, I'm so happy they are going. In fact, we have to start storming Tottenham. It seems like you like Romero. We could bring Romero.
No, I
We'll use
like him.
Enzo to bring
I
Romero.
think, but I'm still concerned because the red card thing. He's the worst. But you never know. Players
Yeah, but he's
change.
playing in a very whacked team, so obviously he has to do everything to defend, and by doing so, he's attracting a lot of red cards. If it comes to because I've watched him in the Argentina national team, and he doesn't look that bad. You understand? So sometimes the team that you play will define who you are. So I guess maybe if it comes to Chelsea, who knows? He's an experienced, defender. Right now, if Chelsea wants centre backs, we should target Ruben Diaz or even him. You know, they've been here for quite some time now, and if we can just try our luck on those guys, I think we'll be able to bring some form of experience to the team. So let's see how it goes. As it stands right now, they are relegation, bound. They are definitely going to go to relegation. I've said this, and you might think I'm joking, but it's most likely going to happen, Kochi. It doesn't look good at all. And as you said earlier on, there is no manager bounce. Mostly when some coaches join some
Yeah.
new club, at least their first 2, 3 games, you can see something. But the whole thing is like even getting from bad to worse. So I don't know how they are going to survive this. It's going to be very, 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 difficult for them. To be honest with you,
It's looking really really tight
yeah.
and difficult for them. So Romero is 27. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind him in all honesty, but I don't think we'd go for him. So let's see. The boys gave everything. All right. They did. Yeah. X. To be honest, he got a red card for something that I see Arsenal defenders do all the time: inconsistent refereeing. And it looks like, yeah, the PGMO, MOL, they are aiding Arsenal to the title, practically. And I've said this 1,000 times, and I can't stop saying it. The rules are adapting to the way Arsenal want to play, unfortunately. Um, let's see. I want them to get relegated. We will get out next our side chick. All right, let's see. Even Leicester City is struggling badly. It looks like they're going to be relegated, yeah, to the third division. They are close to relegation. Yeah, I've seen the table too. Yeah, they won the league, fired the manager that won them the league because they felt like they've arrived. Let Leicester City fans suffer. They were talking SHIT about Enzo Maresca. My goodness. No, it's not alcohol. It's yogurt. So go away. And I don't do alcohol, so I don't think there's anything else to talk about here. Let me see. We've covered everything. Enzo turned it up on the day. Joao Pedro was on fire, so high on confidence that he attempted a bicycle kick. I don't want to start reading that. Let me see. Yeah, we've read about that kid there. I just want to go to Fort Mob. Let's look at stats. Who's leading what metric for Chelsea? And I'll do the same for the entirety of the league. Let's say with bonds. Okay, I just wanted to say I can't do without coffee. Really, statistics. Let's go. All right, more likes, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way, and I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Tobejo with the wild comment. Yeah. If you're hungry, you're in trouble. So for Chelsea players, okay. No. Players for the entirety of the league. Top scorers? What? How is it the top scorer? 8 goals. I think this is for team, yeah. This is so let's go for the Premier League. What the heck? I was like, what the heck? This is specifically for Tottenham players. Kudus, their top scorer. Okay, teams. Top stats, Manchester City was that. Top rating, I don't want anything. Goals per match, Arsenal 2.0, Manchester City 2 goals per game. They're averaging 2 goals per game. Tottenham averaging 1.3. I'm on Tottenham. I need to go to the homepage so that it covers the entirety of the team. I don't need it to be specific to one team. I don't like it like that. Let's see if that helps. I want the league in general and not a particular team. But yeah, guys, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I'm tired myself, so I just want to run in a bit. So I'm going to go, where do I see the stats covering all clubs? I don't want it to be specific to a particular club. So I'm going to go Premier League. Let's see. In the Premier League, I think that will help. Then we go stats. There you go. Now it's not going to be specific to a particular club. And I wanted to show us Aston Villa. I wanted us to look at that. Okay, look at Aston Villa here. They've lost more games than us. They've lost 8 games. We've lost 7 games. Yeah, they've lost 1 more game than us, but they've won a lot more. Yeah, they won 15 and we won 13. And we drew a lot more than them. Those are the areas that you say that eat up the points that could have, had we not been, you could say, ill-equipped maybe, we'd probably be topping the table if you look at those things. But that's why I wanted us to look at the statistics, then we'll go do Chelsea specific, and after that we'll call it a day. I've taken, I took notes. I wanted to know the most appropriate time to schedule the show and when to end it. So Erling Haaland, what? Has he scored 22 goals already this season? Igor Tudor, 18 goals. Semenyo, 15 goals. Wow. Top assists, 14 for Bruno Fernandes. Ryan Cherki, 8. A 7 for Erling Haaland. Okay, goals plus assists. It is Erling Haaland, 29, 21 Bruno Fernandes, and 19 Igor Tudor. I think a big club will snatch up Igor Tudor very soon. And the rating, I'm not going with the rating. Minutes played, Raya has played the most minutes. I don't think that means anything to us. Goals per 90 minutes still Erling Haaland. Lucas Mecha, Leeds United. Really? And then Junior Groupie in third place. And goals, expected goals, XG. Haaland still tops it. Thiago, so to speak, not Tudor. 15.6. Okay. Joao Pedro, 13.2. XG per 90 minutes still. Erling Haaland is there. Lucas Mecha is there. And Enes Unai. Enes Unai, is he Emery's son? I don't know. But I want to know. If you know, you let me know. Shots per on target per 90 minutes. Benjamin Šeško. Really? 1.9. Erling Haaland 1.9 also. Charalampus 1.8. I can't say his name. Shots per 90 minutes. Enes Unai, Federico Chiesa. But those guys probably hasn't played a lot. So usually that helps them have a higher shot by 90 minutes. Dribble success by 90 minutes. Jeremy Doku with 4.6. Kevin with 3.6. And Estevao 3.2. So nothing serious here. Let's go by teams. That's the one I want to look at. Then we'll call it a day. All right. Let's see. In terms of teams, all right. Top rated is Manchester City. Second top rated with 7.22. Arsenal 7.08. Manchester United 7.06. Goals per match. Arsenal at 2. Manchester City at 2 also. Chelsea at 1.8. Okay, not a lot of disparity there. Goals conceded by 90 minutes. Arsenal considered the least at 0. They concede the least 0.7. City 0.9. Everton 1.1 per game. Wow. Okay. Average possession 60.2. Liverpool 59.6. Manchester City in third place is Chelsea 58.6. Clean sheets, Arsenal with the top 14 clean sheets, 12 Man City, 10 Crystal Palace. We're not even in the top 3. Okay, attendance. Well, what am I going to do with that? United, the highest. I don't want to look at that. Expected goals. We're leading with XG with 57.0, followed by Man City 53.2, then Manchester United. Wow. All right, I'm tired, man. I need to go. Except if there's anything else there for us to talk about. Yeah, interesting stuff that we've looked at and a few minutes ago. So what do we have? I do know you. And Ty goes, wow. Ty, what is wowing you? Can you let us know? It'd be interesting to see what you have to say. I don't think there's anything else we have to talk about. If you're on the panel, if there's anything else you want us to talk about, please let me know. Otherwise, 10 p.m., 10:09 p.m. I got it on. And chances are, I'm quite sure these kids, they've found the way to turn on the TV in the room without me knowing. Except if I check my phone and check activities, then I'll see it. All right. Nothing else, I'm guessing. And Bans, I want to say thank you for finding the time to join me on the panel of the show.
No problem, Coachy.
I appreciate you, my bro. And thank you, too, to Jay for stopping by to say hello. And I want to say thank you to my bro, Ty. I appreciate you. And also, who else was here today? Woo! I appreciate you. Thank you, Ishi. Who else was here? If I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
The dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing it. Support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly from Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable. Hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing it, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable. Hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing it, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. Chelsea forever will stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever will stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever will